As the room fill up, be sure to smash the like button, let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. Let's go. The name is Law Nation. As the room fill up, be sure, and I mean just that, be sure to smash upon the like button. Share this content, let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. Yup. Four, three, two, one. Come on. All right. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. I missed one day of going live, and it feels like a week, right? But shout out to everybody that tuned in, and we're going to talk about this real quickly. Stephen Jones came out and said that, yeah, he feel confident that Trevon Diggs will get signed, right? He feel confident that also Parsons will get signed. CeeDee Lamb will get signed. Dak Prescott will get extended. So all of those things is something that we can all look back at and say, oh, that could be a lot of tongue-in-cheek, right? But everyone have a reason. Results are what matter. And the Cowboys heading into the 2023 season, there are a lot of things that we can talk about. Shout out to Parsons. Parsons being Parsons, too, you know. I'm seeing him getting a lot of heat for going to a game, wearing the Celtics jersey. I think that Parsons is a fan of the players, not necessarily a fan of a team, and he's learning that, you know, the society itself want you to pick a side, right, and not be a fan of all, which old school philosophy like me, you know, I'm going to root for one team and I'm going to stick with one team. Regardless of what city I'm in, I'm always going to root for my Cowboys, right? Regardless of what city I am, I'm a part of, you know, Lakers, my team. A lot of people will say, hey, man, you're supposed to like every team that's out of Dallas. No, I'm from Mississippi. We don't have professional teams. So I get with what he's going through as it relates to now he's playing for the Cowboys and everybody, mama, uncle, cousin, you know, I'm going to try to make clips and news out of it. And it started with Philly, right? When Parsons wore the Philly jersey, all of the Philadelphia Eagle fans, they were like, you know, he's an Eagle fan now. And I don't see a single thread of green and white on the 76ers. But I get it, right? It's all for optics, and it is what it is. So let's get back to the topic here of the thumbnail. We see CeeDee Lamb, we see Parsons, we see Dak Prescott, and we see Trevon Diggs. All of these guys, we've been showing clips of them working out during the off season. They've been doing a great job of keeping up with everything and making sure that they leave nothing on the table. And we can't wait for training camp and the real rookies versus the pros and all of that, you know, the OTAs and all of those things. We can't wait to see it, but we're going to have to wait to get to it. That's the reality of it. So what I want to say here is don't fall into the traps of the low-hanging fruit. The low-hanging fruit will have you thinking that the team that you root for, the team that you support, is not better than that team or the other teams that making moves. At the end of the day, regardless of how you look at it, Cowboy Nation, we're going to be talked about. We're going to be perceived to be 8-8, or since you can't go 8-8 anymore, 8-9. You know, we're going to be perceived as the team that, in order for us to be successful, we must win the Super Bowl. No other team is held to those expectations. And we fall to those traps every single year. And there will be someone reminding you, Law, it's been 27 to 28 years now, right? Like in those year spans, right? Hear me out. There should be a team with 27 to 28 Super Bowls, and it's not. People fail to realize just because your team is talented, just because your team is good, doesn't mean that they will lift up that Lombardi trophy. This is an ultimate team sport. Now let's listen to some of this audio from John Machota. He was on 105, and then we will go into the other details.
news by news Twitter account, in my opinion. And he's John Machota from The Athletic here on the Diamond Factory Hotline. Good morning, John. What's up?
I appreciate you guys saying that. That's the whole goal there, A lot of competition out at the start there, just trying to get stuff out as quickly as possible. So thank you for saying that.
Still not as good as Ari Myrod, though. That's the one I go to.
I knew there was no chance that we would get through this interview without Bobby mentioning his name. So.
I love the tricks that John has. He's going to be the one that gets you like the first Cowboys running out of the gates at training camp, right? We're all football stars. I know all his tricks, but I'm too lazy to follow him around on the field and do them. He's the one that's going to get the overhead view of all the fans rushing into AT&T every single Sunday. Those are the things. He knows what the fans eat up, and he delivers on his Twitter account. And yesterday, you were out there with Stephen Jones. Your biggest takeaway from Stephen yesterday was what?
I wouldn't say that there's anything huge that he really revealed. I mean, I asked him about their confidence level and being able to, re-sign that main four with, Trevon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, Dak, and Micah Parsons. And, of course, he's going to say that they're confident they can do it. Yeah. I'm just interested in that whole aspect of it because that's a lot of money. I mean, that's almost half your cap that you could be tying up into four players, and that's fine if all of them play well, but it'll just be an interesting shift because – let's be honest, it's been such a big deal, Dak's contract getting $40 million a year, and now that's turned into one where it's barely even inside the top 10. And now you're going to talk about giving Dak another deal like that. Trevon Diggs is going to be one of the highest paid corners. CeeDee Lamb, one of the highest paid wide receivers. Then Micah Parsons, I think as long as he keeps doing what he's doing, he'll be the highest paid defensive player. And that's a contract that's in, the mid-30s. So that's why I think Aaron Donald's around $35 million, $32 million, somewhere in there. And that's a lot of cap that's going to be tied up in four players. And if you draft well, then things will be fine. But it's going to be a small margin for error.
Which one, John, do you think will be the easiest to get done, and which one do you think could be the most difficult of those guys?
I think CeeDee Lamb will be the easiest to get done, just because of the fact that I think he's proven that he is one of the top 10 wide receivers in the league. And if you're in that class, I think it's pretty easy to slot where that money will be. And I think that they view him as that. So I don't know, like the whole thing with Dak is he is he's one of those top 10 quarterbacks. And so if you're in that class, then obviously you're the next one up. And it'll just be interesting because of the fact that it just wasn't smooth the last time they got the contract done with him. And so whenever Steven talks about how, it might just be one of these things where we just wake up and it's done. Many of us that cover the team don't believe that because that's not how the last contract went. And so, agents play a role in this. Todd France is not taking deals. Micah Parsons' agent, David Mulugeta, he's not taking any deals. Because of what we've seen from the Cowboys in the past, that, they're going to kind of let everything play out. And sometimes that's not in the best move, but because of that, I think probably CeeDee Lamb or Trevon Diggs. But, yeah, one of those two I think would probably be the easiest, and I don't think any of them will be easy.
No doubt. That's John Machota from The Athletic, and shout out to 105.3 The Fan for doing that interview there. So I would say this. Out of the contracts, we don't know. We don't know where the Jones family will go with these type of things because 9 times out of 10, it's always – breaking news with the Cowboys. I would say this. The longer you wait, the higher the value. And that just, unfortunately, how things are. Even in, contracts outside of the NFL. The longer you wait, higher it goes. And we can lean on and hope that the value get lower, but you draft pretty well. These are good problems to have. All of the guys we're talking about, homegrown. Shout out to you, Ernest. Thank you for your support. Hello, Law. The Cowboys will be all right. The faith is there. Go Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? Appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support there. For real, for real. I'll give you right here. Appreciate you, Ernest, which means honest. So he's honest over here. Appreciate you, fam. So that is always the situation here. Cowboy Nation, every little thing that we do will always be used as comparisons. I was watching an episode about who's the top 5 wide receiver groups in the National Football League. Like where do you rank the Cowboys group, right? And of course, Cowboys are not in the top 5 category. A lot of people get angry and upset at that. I'm sitting back like, nah. Let people do their rankings. Let people say, Dan Orlovsky, let him say Dak Prescott is not a real quarterback like he ever was, right? And those would be things like that what people would say. And people would get angry and frustrated off of a rankings list, right? People will literally say, hey, Jalen Hurts, he's elite. Dak Prescott, he's trash. Okay, Jalen Hurts, hey, since he's elite. All I can say is this right here, ladies and gentlemen. Let Jalen Hurts be elite. Let him be the best quarterback in the National Football League. But we're going to be looking for those results. We're going to be looking for those checks that they are saying. I heard a shout out to my guy, Lord Bronson. I think, let me see if I can pull it up on my Twitter. Let me pull up on my Twitter right quick. Shout out to him. He comes up with the belief that Hassan Reddick, oh, man, he's light years or better than Dak Prescott, which I get, right? He had more numbers. He had more sacks. He had more this and that. Hey, their team went to the Super Bowl. It's hard to argue against that. But from the same breath and the same token, when you use those low-end stat lines for your mind, right? Hassan Reddick, 16 sacks, okay. Parsons, 13, and that's the reason why he's better, right? Oh, and then my guy, Defy Talk, says, okay, well, with that analogy or with that concept or with that knowledge base that you're speaking from, then dare I say Deron Bland, I'm paraphrasing, is better than Darius Slay. Why? Okay, he had 5 INTs to his 3. If we can play that game all day, right? And then you have Eagle fans in the chat, they're crying, how dare you say Deron Bland is better than Slay? Well, your guy just said that Hassan Reddick is better than Parsons. Hassan Reddick don't believe that he's better than Parsons, right? You pull Hassan Reddick on the side and say, hey, man, are you better than Parsons? And he said, nah, man, Parsons is an animal. But you have fan bases, right, that will say, hey, man, you're better. Well, that's cool. That's cool. But at the end of the day, these players, they know who they are. They know what they can and can't do, and that is the reality of it. I can literally, if we want to go with like numbers and stats and ratios and things like that, Tyler Biadasz didn't give up a sack in the last 2 years. Jason Kelce gave up a sack. Therefore, if I want to go back and forth with Eagles fans, I can literally say, well, Tyler Biadasz is better than Jason Kelce. Because in the last 2 years, he haven't gave up a sack. Will that be facts? What are we basing it off of, right? Are we contextualizing everything to the table? Are we bringing up the fact that even if you look at Hassan Reddick, right, and you start to think of it like this, and shout out to him, I'm not taking away Hassan Reddick's skill set. We're just using this as an example. But can you imagine if the Cowboys had someone from the interior like a Javon Hargrave last season getting you 12 sacks plus a Fletcher Cox giving you 7 sacks? What would you think that Parsons will be able to do when you have pressure from the inside plus tangible evidence of sacks? Fred Anderson, appreciate you. He says, Law, I think Terrence Steele got to be an honorable mention in the contract group. Go Cowboys. Ooh.
Sacrifice.
Ooh, Fred, you brought that up to a good point right there. Ooh, that's a real good conversation. Oh, and to someone's other comment there, it's a contract year technically for Tyler Biadasz. So it's crazy how all of these things work. The Cowboys got a lot of homework to do.
And there's no issue when you do sign them, all 4 of them, that you're not going to kill your depth, because that is a problem with the salary cap?
I mean, that's totally possible. I mean, I'm trying to think of really a team that I would say maybe the Rams, that the team that they built that won the Super Bowl. They were obviously paying a lot of money to Aaron Donald and, Matthew Stafford and, some of those guys, obviously Jalen Ramsey and that. But I would say, it can be done. You're just going to have to draft really well because you're going to need your draft picks to, be guys that are major contributors that aren't going to be making that top dollar. And so that's fine if you keep having, one really good draft class after another, but you really can't afford to have like that Tristan Hill draft class. Every one of them is going to have to be pretty solid. And if that's the case, which as long as they keep Will McClay around, I do think that's realistic that can happen. But my thing is that there's always injuries, obviously, in the NFL. And if a couple of those guys get hurt, that's a major blow to the rest of the roster because you just have so much money tied up in, 3-4 players.
What did you think about their draft class, John, either personally or based upon all the people that you spoke with, including Brugler and anyone else for your work with The Athletic?
Yeah, so as it was going on, it wasn't one that I necessarily loved in the moment. I totally understand all their picks, and they deserve the benefit of the doubt. But I was fine with Mozzie Smith just because of the fact that it's been so long since they've put that type of investment into the defensive tackle position. Yeah. And I just think with what they've done in the offseason, adding Stephon Gilmore, their defense is just so good. Clearly the best defense on paper since I started covering the team in 2011. So that I get all that, makes total sense. I'm not going to act like I'm an expert, so I do lean on Dane Brugler when it comes to a lot of these prospects. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm just, pouring through all this tape of Luke Schoonmaker, but I just when
you're not Wolchuk, you're not a poser,
right?
Kidding, Zach.
No, but it's there's so much of that goes on during the draft, and the thing I complain about the most when it comes to everybody jumping in and acting like experts when it comes to those a month before the draft and then during the draft is that really something as small as a character concern or a medical issue completely can wipe you off a board. And so you go from being a guy that, people think, oh, that guy should go in the first round to where, oh, no, we're not interested in the first round or any round. A guy that I always go back to, a perfect example of that would be Ron Leary, who doesn't get drafted at all because they thought, the doctors saw that he had a degenerative knee condition. And so that's a guy that when he was with the Cowboys, he played pretty well, but he goes completely undrafted. And so, we're just watching tape of what they do in college is only maybe half of it, I would say.
No doubt. It's only a piece of it, y'all. And that's why I always say you can look at college tape all day, right? And you can see some of the things that they did in college. But take that and say, okay, this is what this guy's good for. But now it's time for a player to get to the pros. And that's where the actual staffing of the coaching staff, the locker room, who they playing next to, is never an isolated situation. What we tend to do as a fan base is look at it as an isolated situation. And we look at everybody as if though they're going to be the only ones out there. Like a Schoonmaker, he's the only one going to be out there, right? Or like a Junior Fioco, like he's going to be the only one out there. No, these guys going to come into a scheme and a system with coaches with the unbelievable amount of times to get things together. So that's why Cowboys, I think that the reason why they do such a great job in the draft, because they draft for ceiling, not the floor. They draft for, I can pour upon the potentials. I can maximize those things and help elevate the others. So I get it. You may have a person that you might think would be the best of the best, right? But then check those guys out 4 or 5 years down the line. And the person that, very much so, the person that you was banging on the table for, probably not even in the league anymore. And it's just crazy how the draft is what it is. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. We do have shout out to you all, JT, Jameson, Taylor. Thank you, everybody, for being part of this episode. Be sure to hit that like button, share this content, let a friend or a neighbor know where they want to go. to get Cowboys information. Law, what is the information regarding Jalen Hurts? It don't mean a hill of beans. Hurts is for the Eagles, you know. You probably had to go to an Eagles channel to get the information regarding Jalen Hurts, you see. Too many times people sweeping other people's front porch and not paying attention to their own. The Cowboys, we are good where we are at. That's just the reality of it, baby. All right, so with that being said, here's the truths right here. When we talk about Trevon Diggs and we talk about my guy CeeDee Lamb, which contract should be paid or solidified first and easier? Like John Machota just mentioned, he said that CeeDee Lamb contract will be easier. I would say this because CeeDee Lamb, granted, they already put him under that fifth-year option. They give them a little bit more cushion to work that part out. But most importantly, I truly believe that the guy that's wearing number 4 on this picture, if you go ahead and extend him, then that will provide more and more resources and money to Trevon Diggs, to Michael Parsons, and as well as Lamb. I mean, yeah, it's just a no-brainer at this. So when I look at what the Cowboys need to do is first and foremost take care of that. You can't get the other things that you want. It's called priorities. Now, also, just for a segue into the offensive line situation in theory, because John Machota, when they got a chance to speak about these things, about my guy with the contracts, they also spoke to him about the offensive line. It's been Best 5 philosophy from the jump. I said this a couple of months ago. I said the starting 5 will be this group right here, Tyler Smith, Tyler Biadasz, and then Zach Martin and Terrence Steele. Now, the conundrum is Terrence Steele healthy? Can he play? Now, the Cowboys about 2 months ago, I think it was a month ago I meant to say, they said that Terrence Steele is ahead of schedule. He's ahead of schedule. And we do know how the Cowboys get down and dirty with their negotiation. Terrence Steele will make about $4.5 million if he play this year on that tender tag or what have you. And he's going to play this year. No team offered him a second-round draft pick. Now, the Cowboys are a very forward-thinking organization. It's all about saving the pie. So the first thing they said also was, hey, this dude is also a swing tackle, and we can put him inside as guard. Playing a person out of position equals less pay as it relates to his offensive line. If you're playing guard, then I'm not going to pay you tackle money. Unfortunately, that's how the Cowboys roll in this situation. Now, we can all say that, hey, the guy will not be healthy, and that is a calculated saying because we got tangible evidence that he folded up last year with an ACL thing, and that normally takes a long time to heal. Now, granted, we do got trainers and we do have unbelievable medical staff, but the reality is the expectations of players never diminish when you are a Cowboys player. There's no benefit of the doubt when you are a Cowboys player. I got multiple evidence that you guys don't give a hill of a beans. Y'all don't give a damn whether or not a person is going through something. Y'all want the results regardless. And then y'all will lean on the fact, hey, man, it's been 27 years. We looking for the results. We don't care if his mama died. We don't care if his leg is meat falling off the bone. We don't care. We want results. We don't care if the man broke his thumb. We don't care if the guy's coming off of a knee surgery. bust his eardrum. We don't care. We don't care. We want the results. And y'all, this is very much so a gladiator sport. And y'all want to see the blood, you want to see the gore, and that's just how it is, unfortunately. So people have to understand that part of it. Yesterday I was talking to one of the trainers, and he said, man, there are issues with these guys that they can't go to the medical doctors on the team. I said, why they can't go to the medical doctor? And he said, you know why? Because they got a chart system. And every time you have a nick or a knack on you, and you go to the Cowboys medical doctor or somebody within the facility, they got to report that. And when they report that, that dings and that takes away from the remunerations that they can get far as their contract, because the medical staff and the medical organization will report that, and that goes against you. So for those in the NFL, if they want to be able to excel, they got to go find themselves an independent doctor. No cap. And I said, man, so what else go on with that? And he said, and I'm speaking, and I'm not going to give the name away, but there was a certain guy that had an unbelievable rookie year. Great expectations after they seen what he was able to do against the Steelers. And they said, you know what? We got a situation and scenario that he plays a certain position, but if we can put a little bit more weight on him, shoot, he'll be even more of a lethal weapon. Oh, what happened? That particular person bought into what they said and gained 15 to 30 pounds. But what was reported was like only 15. That person then got hurt. The expectation still stayed that this person should be at this level. So by this person switching position and playing in a whole nother area, the diminishing rates came in. And people didn't care. I don't care. I'm looking for results. And to this day, that person can't straighten out their arm. One is longer than the other. Do you think that the organization and franchise cared about that? No. They rushed that person back out there on the field, and they said, give it to me, the results. And a third of the fan base fell into the whole mindset of saying that said person is trash. That person is horrible. But from a medical aspect of it, that person didn't get the right treatment. That person didn't get the right way in. That person is now in a situation where it's do or die. But guess what? We got good news for you. He will perform better because he's going back to his natural flow, his natural position, and he's playing back at his natural weight. But it's a prove it, do or die type of mentality, unfortunately. And that's how that's how this world is. So there's another guy who's now got to perform at an unbelievable level. But before we get into those details, ladies and gentlemen, let's play some of that audio. Let me see if I can find audio while we doing this. Let's go.
Parsons' problem. That's what every team in the league got to deal with. And he's getting heavier this year. He wants to get 10 pounds stronger, so he's got a little more power to his game. But he's still going to play some linebacker because he's got such great instincts. Yeah. And so why not use those instincts in certain situations, the way they move around? But I think primarily he's going to be an edge rusher. But when you watch him in his last game, the playoff loss to San Francisco, watch how quickly he diagnoses this play. I mean, this is a flare out to Deebo Samuel right here. He jumped it immediately. Now Brock Purdy's got nowhere to go, and he takes the sack. All right? Now, you watch this play here. Here he
Hold on. that ain't gonna help y'all out. Give me 1 second right here because, you can't see the play and I can't show you that version of the play. But give me about T-minus a few seconds and I'm going to have the audio for you. Video, visual. Let me do it this way since you guys are here. Let's do it this way.
Take a look at the formation. Debo in a pistol, power pistol with Juice and Purdy. Mike is checking it out. Now let's watch him. Let's watch this play and watch how quickly he reads this.
Yep.
Like he reads this thing to Debo right now. Purdy's got nowhere to go. Odigizua is the benefactor. You get a sack because of it. Now you watch him right here. Watch him slap Kittle to the ground. Now, here comes a bootleg. Watch him put this left foot in the ground. Right there. Watch him come out of this thing. Like, this is where he's different than everybody. Watch him come out and now go chase. Man. Deron Bland had a chance for interception. A lot of chances for interceptions. Watch the hustle here. This play starts at the 8. Purdy's on the move. Micah gets a hit on him at the 25. 3rd and 8, they're kicking a field goal. And then you watch this here. You okay, off the ball linebacker. Watch how quickly he deciphers this play. Like, he doesn't even wait for the fake. He's gone. The speed shows up everywhere. Down goes Debo. On 2nd and 8, they pick up 7. And then you watch this right here. Like this, like just slap Kittle, hump McGlinchey, and put a hit on Purdy. And there's that ball just floating in the middle of the field. Somehow those balls got to get intercepted. Take a look at the formation. Debo in a pistol, power pistol with Juice and Purdy. Mike is checking it out. Now let's watch him. Let's watch this play and watch how quickly he reads this. Like he reads this thing to Debo right now. Purdy's got nowhere to go. Odigizua is the benefactor. You get a sack because of it. Now you watch him right here. Watch him slap Kittle to the ground. Now, here comes a bootleg. Watch him put this left foot in the ground. Right there. Watch him come out of this thing. Like, this is where he's different than everybody. Watch him come out and now go chase. Man. Deron Bland had a chance for interception. A lot of chances for interception.
No doubt. So, Parsons all-around baller. Baller, status, and he should be a guy that the team need to focus on priority, especially after they extend for re-sign Lamb and then really figure out a way to do Trevon Diggs' contract. And those should be the optimum goal for the Cowboys. Yes, he's a beast, Steve. Yes, indeed. So when I look back at all what this team can be and should be, it should start right with that. And think about this. When Brian Baldinger was breaking all of that down, the very much first thing that you guys notice is that, hey, the pressure from the inside, oh my goodness, where is it? Why are we not getting these results from the inside, from the interior? What's going on with that? You know, so let me see if I can fix it up. Boy, building the plane while it's in the air. Boom, boom, boom. Y'all bear with me. Much love to you all. Shout out to you, Sadiq. I see you doing some great work. And somebody, you know, who's silly to think that we clickbaiting. I don't even think that we even said that, you know, someone is signed. If they following the channel, how can y'all, hold on, before I go into this right quick, where do y'all get the notion that Law Nation said that Stephen Jones is signing Parsons, Lamb, Dak Prescott today? Like, that don't even make sense, right? But neither here nor there. Let's get into this, okay? But appreciate you, Sadiq. Appreciate all of the mods.
Debo in a pistol, power pistol with Juice and Purdy. Mike is checking it out. Now let's watch him. Let's watch this play and watch how quickly he reads this. Like he reads this thing to Debo right now. Purdy's got nowhere to go. Odigizua is the benefactor. You get a sack because of it. Now you watch him right here. Watch him slap Kittle to the ground.
This is what I want. I want my guys from the inside. And I know that this play is designed to flow heavy right. This is a counter. But one thing I do want to see for the 2023 season, I want to see better play from, and I know that's Anthony Barr, right? I want to see better play from my linebacker, and I want to see penetration right here. And 71, man, he's no one to sneeze at. I'm just going to be real with y'all. He's no one to sneeze at. But I still demand better play. I demand better play from those boys. Let me see if I can fix this up. Y'all bear with me. Let's see, why is my...
Now, here comes a bootleg. Watch him put this left foot in the ground. Right there. Watch him come out of this thing. Like, this is where he's different than everybody. Watch him come out and now go chase. Man. Deron Bland had a chance for interception. A lot of chances for interceptions. Watch the hustle here. This play starts at the 8. Purdy's on the move. Micah gets a hit on him at the 25. 3rd and 8, they're kicking a field goal. And then you watch this here. You okay.
That's what I'm looking for. These big boys down inside.
Off the ball linebacker. Watch how quickly he deciphers this play. Like, he doesn't even wait for the fake. He's gone. The speed shows up everywhere. Down goes Debo. On 2nd and 8, they pick up 7.
That's good stuff, man.
All right, let's just take a look at Micah from the very first play of the game. Like right there, Trent's got to block the most dangerous guy, so Parsons is free, and he takes down McCaffrey. All right, that's the first play. Then you get this play right here. Like, this is a swing pass to the outside right here. All right, to Debo. Like, but he reads the play, so he gets in the pass lane right here. Purdy can't make this throw. Now he's got nothing. So now Odigizua comes and he sacks Purdy. Okay, all right, here we go. Now, like, Kittle is as good as there is at blocking. Like, Kittle can't cut him off. All right, he just beats Kittle right down the line to McCaffrey. All right, Juice is the best blocking fullback in football. I mean, it's just one after another, just slapping them. Physically, just whipping people. Like, there's Kittle.
When you look back at this, man, the LOS, we need to get more penetration. And I promise you, man, I truly believe that we're going to get that now. And if we like Parsons then, boy, we're going to love Parsons. Oh, my goodness, man, we're going to love Parsons now. Oh, come on.
Like, on the backside. Like, just a slap. All right, now, watch him put that left foot in the ground and go chase Purdy. Like, this is like supersonic, like, closing speed right there. Errant throw, Deron Bland almost had it. All right, now you watch this right here. Like, watch what he does to Purdy. Like, this is supersonic closing speed right now. Like, here he is, okay?
Man, that boy throwing it for his life, man. Ooh. All right, so I truly believe that this team, and I know that that's the last tape that we have on this team, is the 2023 loss to the 49ers, which was last year, by the way, or last season, or the loss in the playoff game, basically, that's a better way to say it, to the 49ers. That's the last tape, and you are known by your last tape. And you go back and you rewatch that, and you look at it from the defensive perspective. We were good. We were pretty good, but we could be better. And not to go into the details of the offense. Yes, the offense laid an egg in this, but we could be better overall. And I can't wait. Cowboy Nation, I want to know your thoughts before we go into this. Be sure y'all hit that like button. I'm seeing the like-o-meter is down. I got Chris214 says inside pressure, the most disruptive pressure for at QB. Yeah. Appreciate you for that. No doubt. Let's get it, Cowboy Nation.
Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for line.
657-390-7391 is the hotline for your mind. Let me know who the Cowboys should re-sign and get things going in the right and proper directions. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. The name is Law Nation. Let's get it. Come on.
There's no question, keep it real. Whether we East Coastin' or we in the hidden hills. In the poppin' straps of blue faces, not the pills. Heard you callin' bluffs, I show and prove it, it's for real. Son of God, not a son of sand.
There is one
keep
other
it off the books and keep it coming in.
Please announce
yourself.
yourself.
See what I'm coming in. The inside caramel just like 100 grand. Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for it.
From the 214, you're live. Darius, you're live.
Law, what's happening, man? First of all, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, you sound pretty clear.
Okay, so the last time I had called, you had told me that my my expectations were too low. This is what I wanted to tell you. So yes, my expectations are very low and attainable for your boy Mike McCarthy. If Mike McCarthy is everything that we're saying that he is, it should be no problem
Right.
for him to make it to the NFC Championship. Me personally, I don't give a damn what the regular season record is.
True.
Bro. We can barely scrape it to the playoffs because at this point the regular season record is like window dressing.
Yep.
It's just window dressing to make Mike McCarthy's resume look better than what it is. I don't give a damn about the regular season as long as we make it to the playoffs. Get to the NFC Championship. That's my main. Since Mike McCarthy he's such a championship head coach, which everybody always say he's got a Super Bowl. He's got a Super Bowl. He ain't got one for us.
Well, there is. Let me say this though. Let me say this: the way he got his Super Bowl. Did you know he came in the playoff wild card? He snuck into the playoffs. With the Green Bay.
I remember that run.
Yeah.
Run. That was a scary run.
It was a scary run, and they made it in there, and they won the Super Bowl. The following year, they was highly praised. Everybody, mama, uncle, cousin, talking about, hey, dynasty. It's finna be a repeat. They went 15-1, I believe. They got knocked out by the 49ers, I think. So or some other team, or the Seattle, one of those teams, Seattle or the 49ers knocked them out. So on one end, you consider a legend for getting into the playoffs by scraping in, and then on the other end, you consider, hey, what's going on?
And the other thing to that point, I wanted to say was, man, I really love our roster. I love our roster so much, and I'm just looking at our secondary. To be honest with you, I'm taking our secondary over a lot of other secondaries in the league. You got Trevon Diggs,
right.
Ron Bland, Stephon Gilmore, all ball hawks. That's how I like my cornerbacks.
No doubt.
Ball hawks.
No doubt.
That's how I love them. You know what I'm saying? And so the last thing I want to say was the point that you was making about a player being hurt and then it being no excuses for law. A lot of other teams is going through the same thing. And me personally, I tell, we're not the only team that's going through that thing. You know what I'm saying? You got to fight through it or don't get on the field. It's the same thing. I train my nephew. My nephew is going to be an NFL player one day. And to that point, do you know any other trainers? My nephew is a DN, and he a DN and tight end. Do you know any other trainers in the Dallas area? Do you know if OC does any training? I pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Do you know any information about that?
How old is he?
My nephew is 11.
At that age, I know some trainers that work with like high schoolers, right? But at that age of 11, he's playing what position again?
Tight end and DN.
Tight end and DN. Which ones is he trying to do? Because those are two different skill groups, though.
He's a natural.
Which end do you think he's gonna fall in more of?
I think it's gonna be more. Me personally, I think he's a natural DN. But me personally, that's what I think. But when I seen Darnell Washington, because this boy is growing like a weed, he's gonna be taller than me.
Yeah.
I want to say, and I'm 6'2". He's gonna be taller than me by goddamn once he gets to middle school. So he remind me of Darnell Washington out of Georgia. That's the kind of, if he were to be a tight end, he remind me of him. But me personally, I think he's a natural DN.
Right. So I would, since he's naturally a DN, I would get him with maybe a wide receivers guy if you really want to, since he's still doing tight end stuff and we don't want to stop his feet. His feet is his main thing, and playing with leverage. So I don't want to get too much technical with him by going into training just with hands and hand placement, disengaging and stuff like that. Not saying that those things are not necessary, but I would want to get him on speed ladder drills, some jump ropes, some plyometrics and some calisthenics and things like that. And I'm thinking of maybe D-Rob, maybe even maybe Clay Mack or someone like that. And he's a DB's guy, but I'm looking at feet because if he's going to get bigger and he's going to have to learn to move around with that weight, and we want him to get stronger, but I think that what would carry him would be his footwork, and I think that will be the next thing. And this is me without looking at his tape too. So I just spoke with a trainer that trained with a lot of guys as far as defensive tackles and edge guys.
Yeah.
And that will work for him, but by him being 11, man, when he gets like 13, 14, hit me up, and then we'll get him up out there. You know what I'm saying, with those bigger boys up, up in that area.
I was about to say, give me that information. I like to start this shit off early. We finna get
jump into shoot me because I don't want to give it out over the air, but shoot me in Twitter DM or if you got the person to text it, hit me up, Fram.
All right.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you. That's Darius, y'all. No doubt. The youth is always there, man. The youth is always for the future. We do have a like a conclave deal that we're doing, like a overall training group that we're doing, and that's where I was with yesterday. We're setting up a training camp for the youth, and it's going to be over 280 kids out at this event, and I think 11. I think they cut it off right at they looking for high schoolers, but 11. You know, he can probably come and watch, but it is what it is, man. Let me get my guy, the man with the plan that called it, man, because you know it's all about taking game one. If you take game one, then shoot, everything else will roll right on in. It's a momentum thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
Jimmy Buckets, baby.
Jimmy.
And I'm mad at Parsons.
Mad at Parsons. He should have put on a Jimmy jersey.
I don't know what it was, man. I don't know. First he got a Philly jersey on. Now he in Boston with a Boston jersey. What's going on, Micah? What's going on?
Man, he's different breed, man. He's new age, man. You know.
You're LeBron in it. You're LeBron.
Parsons said, "I'm going with you tonight." You know what I'm saying? I wonder if that works with the ladies. Like, I'm with you tonight. You know what I'm saying? Who's Kamika? You know, hey, don't worry about Kamika. I'm with you tonight. Hey, Michael Parsons will plead this case to Taysom. Like, I'm with you. You know, don't worry about last night. I'm with you right now.
It's about who I spend my time with. You know what I mean?
I said, Parsons, man, I wish I'd have used that in the high school and college. Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you right now. Oh my God. I said, Parsons switch sides.
Yeah, real quick.
Oh, man. And you know me, I'm trying to spin it and I'm trying to help him out. I'm sitting like, man, and then Matthew Judon. It's a different story when it's like other fans and you know trolling. But when it's the players now, I'm sitting there like, hey, I got no real estate.
Yeah, right.
And then he got the jersey, he put it on, or he supposed to take, you know, he swole Parsons. He supposed to just wear the jersey, man. Don't put it over the, you know, the flannel. He had all the layers on.
In Boston. I don't think it's that cold. Like, come on, man. Like,
but you know, it would have been dope. Would have been dope. And then when the Celtics was losing, you know, he could play a game with it. You know, just snatch the jersey off and put on Jimmy Butler. Yeah, hey, I'm with you now, Jimmy.
I tell you what, though, he 0 for 2 now. Come on, keep it coming, man. Come back with another Celtics jersey on. Hey, every time he go on the team, he lose. So hey, he ain't got a winning record. So.
Oh my gosh.
What's going on?
So you saying that the Heat's gonna make it all the way? Oh boy.
Gentleman sweep, Law. He didn't gentleman sweep. You know what I'm saying? Heat in 5.
Man.
Heat in 5.
Heat in 5. Okay.
Heat in 5. They gonna get one. I get the Celtics at least one.
Oh wow! Hey, it's all about stealing game one. You steal game one, and then everything else will fall right into place.
Exactly. We did what we were supposed to do, man. Stole game one, and I believe we snatched their heart. You can't go up 15 points on the Heat and think you won. We don't play like that. We will scrap you to the end, man. Our defense is ferocious. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
I feel you, man.
And you know what I mean? We ain't the Lakers over here. You know
see, you had to throw that in, man. hey, we can't close, man. LeBron James to turn into LeBron James, you know. I said, man, the boy didn't stop. I said, he supposed to fight, man. He supposed to play through the whistle, man. Come on, LeBron. Yeah, he thought he was still in Miami, man. That's what happened.
Yeah, that three he put up, I don't even know why he shot that three, man. I'm like, what are you doing, man? You don't even shoot threes.
Man, but the Nuggets, man, they are a team and a force to be reckoned with.
No, the Joker. Let me call that man Joker by his proper name. The Joker. The Joker. Yeah. That's a bad part. Woo.
He can be tight end one for us right now.
Yeah, right.
I'll put him in a Cowboy uniform. Thank you for tuning in to the Law Nation Film section. As you take a deeper look at the Joker, you know. Yes, indeed.
Y'all got to get tonight, though, love. You know, if y'all don't get tonight, you think it's over?
Oh, the team got one thing I can tell you. One thing I can tell you about your team and the Lakers, they both got resiliency. You know what I'm saying? So that right there, they're gonna have to win tonight, though. They're gonna have to, though. Yeah, they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to figure out a way, man. one way or another.
You lose tonight, I think it's over, dog. I'm not even.
Yeah.
Damn. You win.
but man, what you got about our Cowboys, man?
Yeah. It's basketball talk with Law.
It's football now, man. You know. Man, you supposed to be with me, man. You supposed to be with me. You know. Supposed to be with me tonight.
Nah. You said who I think we could sign on for them boys, man. I'm tired of this contract talk. Because if we sign on for now, a couple of years from now, them contracts is gonna be like bargains. And it's like that with everybody, so I don't understand. Like, just give them their money.
Yeah.
Just give them their money now. It will be fun. It's not like we don't draft well. So if that's a problem,
right.
You know what I'm saying? We draft very well.
Right.
And the thing about our drafts is our players play right away. They play right away too. It's not like we wait a year or 2 years. We play right away. So I don't think that's a problem. And another thing, that's our core right there. You talking about a lot of football teams don't have a core, a foundation.
Right.
You can't build a house if you don't have a foundation.
Yep.
That's our foundation. That's our young foundation. Dak is still young. Come on, man. You got guys playing 20 years in the league as a quarterback. Dak is still, you know what I'm saying, young. And yes, Dak can play. I believe in that.
Right.
It's just people don't understand. They just look at the results and they look at numbers and they say, oh, Dak is trash because of the interceptions and this and that. But when Dak is in a free-flowing offense, he tears everybody apart. You know
True.
What I mean by a free-flowing offense, don't you?
True.
There's no
True.
thinking. Everybody's just running and everybody's running to their spots. There's no thinking. There's none of that. We get big plays. Dak has got a lot of his comebacks off of free-flowing offense. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Am I wrong?
No. You spitting right to the truth on that aspect of it, especially when we look into the whole conversational piece about Dak Prescott and the 2-minute warnings. I think he's up there. Dak Prescott versus the most passing touchdowns versus the blitz. Him and Pat Mahomes tied since
right.
entering the league. So. I get all of that. I following you 1,000% on that. Yeah.
And let me know if I'm wrong. The West Coast offense is pretty much that. In a sense.
Yeah.
There's not that much thinking going on. There's not I got to read the defense too, and, oh, man, I ran this wrong and that wrong, and there's none of that going on. So I feel like Dak is going to put up big numbers. The wide receivers is going to have big numbers in this offense, and I feel like you need to pay I'm not saying if you can't pay everybody now, at least get 2 of them out the way, because if you sit here and you wait, it's going to screw us like it does every time, because it's going to be big numbers put up in this offense. It's going to be big numbers put up in this offense, and the way that the defense is set up, it's going to even lend to that even more, because the defense is going to get turnovers and 3-and-outs at a real crazy rate, because this defense is borderline elite right now.
Let's get it, man. I'm leaning on what you're saying about that $100,000, man. Hey, may your team continue to figure out ways to win the Heat. I can't stand Boston anyway, so one way or another. I can't. Matter of fact, I don't think there's a team in Boston that I like. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate what you did game 1. So let's see what's going to happen in game 2, though. I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Heat Nation, let's go. Stand up.
No doubt. It's $100,000, man. Although he's a Heat Nation guy. All right, I got from the 951, you're live. That's the sound of the man. You working on the train, man?
Sadly, I live right next to the train, sadly.
Man, it's all good, man. What you got for the show, man?
Man, I want to go a little bit off topic real quick, because I know we were talking about who we should re-sign as Cowboys, but my personal opinion, I wanted to say this real quick. Speaking back off the last call, let me tell you this. West Coast offense is going to look wonderful for this team, because like I was telling my friend, we're both Cowboy fans, and one thing that used to piss me off is the 4-hook route concept.
Oh, yeah.
That Kellen used to fucking run
on
like a 3rd and 10. I used to be like, Kellen, come on now. Ain't no way.
Ain't no way, man.
And everybody used to be like, well, it's Dak's fault for not canceling it out. I'm like, you guys have to understand. When Dak used to cancel, I'm like, the only time he would cancel is into a run play. He would rarely audible into a pass play. He will rarely. All his cancels was like, okay, for example, say it's a 4-hook route concept, but he sees we can run up the right. He's like, all right, we're going to run up the right, cancel call, cancel the call. And I just think the West Coast is going to be helpful, because ain't no fun. I pray we don't do no dumb concepts like that. We do that, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to turn off every game. I ain't watching. I ain't supporting this year if we do that shit. I'm sorry.
No, okay. I don't think that's a staple piece of this particular philosophy. I think that they got a built-in way of smokes. They got a built-in way of highlighting the number 1 target and using the underneath as a option, using the over the top as an option. So I just think that the offense philosophy will be run to open up the pass, and I think that's where Dak Prescott flourish at.
Yes, sir, he does, because I remember. I'll tell you like this. First and foremost, I'm a young Cowboys fan.
Okay,
so I haven't experienced a whole lot. But I'll tell you this much. I watched Dak when I was in high school, and I'll tell you like this. When Zeke was killing in the run game, Dak would barely have to do anything in the pass game. And when he was doing it, doing a fantastic job. So when you keep that up, it's perfect. And I feel like with the West Coast, it's amazing because we have a whole bunch of run-after-catch receivers.
Yeah, we do. We have a lot of guys. If you think of it, Tolbert coming out of college, he's considered a yak guy, and then Gallup, of course, if he's healthy, he's considered a yak guy, and CeeDee Lamb. I think that who can create separation and space is Brandon Cooks. Not saying that he's going to be the world class out here, but he don't have to do a lot, because you got the guys going to kill underneath. Yeah.
Exactly, and I was going to say, when you got that 4.4 speed, let me be honest with you, I'm putting him on a post route, and I'm putting, like, CeeDee Lamb or Michael Gallup on the underneath crossing route, because it's like, you got to pick your poison. Which one you going to leave open?
Right. I mean, you spitting right at me, man, with the truth. I appreciate you, fam. What's your name again, fam?
My name is Ronnie, bro. I try to call in every day now.
Okay, Ronnie. I'm gonna put it in, Ronnie. Okay. Ronnie, I got you saved, got you locked in from the 951. You have a good one, Chief.
You too, sir. Hey, go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys, man. Yes, indeed. Ronnie, that's a good call for him. Jake the Great, man, you're live from the 561. Oh, my bad. I unmute you. Now you're live.
Yo, what's happening, Law?
Oh,
doing,
man, all is well, man. Good. I can hear you now, man. Yo.
All right. Hey, this is a little bit off topic, right? But I'm fresh off listening to Boss Cowboys show. Mm-hmm. And both them coaches, Coach Q and Coach Marv, man, them boys were spitting facts. If you look at it, the most important person to re-sign right now is Trevon Diggs, because he ain't got no years left. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he plays and get hurt, he ain't gonna get. This is the only chance to get big money. So I know we looking at Dak Prescott, and the quarterback should get signed first.
Right.
But in all honesty, it's got to be Trevon Diggs, though.
Do you?
Think about that?
Well, do you pay your car note or you pay your mortgage first?
Oh, you already know you got to pay that mortgage.
Got to pay the mortgage, man, and the quarterback will always be the mortgage, because you look, you got 15 days to be late on that. You know, cars, man, they got a different set of circumstances. So I look at it like this: if you pay Dak Prescott first, then you can take the money and spread it out for the other guys. And that will be the philosophy there. Now, granted, Trevon Diggs, my dog, I love what he brings to the table. And I would like for Coach Marv thoughts on that. And we said Coach Q. But from an overall perspective, you got to pay the quarterback first. The Cowboys went with the opposite route with Dak Prescott the first time. They paid Dak Prescott last. And we could have had more and more money on the table if we went on ahead and paid Dak Prescott first. Remember, they paid D-Law. They paid Ezekiel. They paid Jalen Smith. They paid other guys. What's the guy? Lyle Collins, right? It's somebody else that they paid too, and is at the tip of my tongue. But they literally paid everyone with the exception of Dak Prescott, who's going to count the most. And the craziest thing about it was the longer they waited, the price of that bag kept continuing to went up, right? And so shall the expectations. So it was crazy, and it was idiotic in my opinion. I think that the Cowboys now, and I get it, right? You may have your reservations on your quarterback, and you may want to hold off. If the Cowboys did and still have their reservations on the quarterback, I would see no fault in the Cowboys drafting another quarterback early, or going into the markets and bringing in a veteran quarterback early and not waiting till now, right? So those are things that I look at that the Cowboys been reverse hustling.
Right. Yeah, man, they do a lot of goofy stuff, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of goofy.
Yeah. A lot of goofy stuff. And, man, Coach Q had me going, man. I had to pull over and do some homework. He was talking about Ezekiel Elliott had like 100 carries less than Saquon Barkley. And had he had his carries, he would have averaged about 1,300 yards. He might have slowed down just a tad bit, but Zeke is a very productive back, and I'm beating my chest, man. I want Zeke back. I think Ronald Jones can go. I'm sorry. Bring Zeke Elliott back, man. So both them coaches had me doing some homework. They'll spend fire content, and It had me thinking though, right on the final word, right? I'm gonna tell you something though. If I had a choice to watch, just say like the first take or the final word, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna watch the final word. It's something about all four of y'all in different locations and being imperfect makes it perfect for me. Because I like the imperfect, the rawness of it. Four dudes sitting together in one room, that's the old school, man. That's out with the old, in with the new. Y'all on fire, man. Y'all going to blow up even more. Y'all going to have like 10 million followers. Keep doing y'all thing, man. I love it, man. I love all the content. Keep doing the thing. Great show as always, man. Jake the Great, I'm out.
No doubt, man. That's my guy, Jake the Great. Great adulations and love for the final word, and for what we do and everything that we do. Is always something that I'm looking out there for to scale it, right? In some point, in some way, the product that you produce, right? You got to go back in and try to rework on it and polish it even more, right? So just be sure that I'm seeking to even elevate that so that people can have that authentic, raw football conversation. And it's in the works. I'm not going to say exactly what's going to happen, but in fairness, I do take feedback. I do listen to you guys' feedback on those type of shows and how the direction is going. But I also look at it like, hey, we're going to have to shape it up a little bit and reintroduce it in another way. And it's about to happen in a few. So I appreciate y'all thoughts on that. And you should always, look to improve and rework and reshape things in anything and everything that you do, right? All right, we got Chris 214. He is live now from the 469. What's on your mind?
What's up, Law?
Nothing to it, bro. Holla at me, man.
I ain't gonna be long with you, man. I'm at work, but I will say, time is now. Gotta start taking advantage of this good defense. Dan Quinn, he ain't gonna be here ever. You say you gotta pay Dak Prescott. Can you imagine if we go all the way and we actually win the whole thing, what his price tag is gonna be? Like, can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Like, that's gonna be crazy. You know what I'm saying? So just take care of our food. Take care of what's going on. Take care of our dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be good to go, man. Oh, and one more question.
Talk to me.
How do you feel about this Michael Parsons thing with the Boston jersey? To me, I think it's kind of, man, that's small talk, man. Like, what, he wants to play for the Patriots now? Like, come on. Like,
yeah, he did make that joke. Yeah. Now, he did. So now, I'm a Patriot. I truly believe that Parsons is a fan of the players, right, and not necessarily the team. So when he see Tatum out there, he's like, hey, that's my dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna support him, right? And then when he see, let's say, I guess in the next series, he might like Jimmy Butler. That may be his dog. So it's one of those things. Whereas here's what I can say. just let that man be who he is. You know what I'm saying? Like he just like being around other super athletic guys, right? And I don't think that he's a fan of one team, and we can make jokes with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you tonight. You know what I'm saying? So that's just Parsons, man. And let that man be who he is, and he's not going to be painted into a corner. I do see a future of Parsons being one of those guys like a Michael Strahan. You remember him once he finished his playing career, jumped on TV, did all type of stuff, host final shows, and a whole bunch of things. Yeah, I can see Parsons being like a Michael Strahan, once he retired, once he's done. He's a cool dude.
Definitely. Oh yeah. Hey man, and them Eagle fans, you know they fiending for him.
Oh yeah, man. I got conversations within the chat, whereas they saying that basically, they can't wait until Parsons become an Eagle. You know what I'm saying? 2 years from now. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No doubt, man. But all right, bro, man. There's people, man. No doubt, man. that joke ain't work for real, man. We got a super chat. Patrice says, Law, please watch Vach video from 4 p.m. yesterday, maybe the last 15 minutes, Marv called him Law, and he impersonated you. It was hilarious. Yeah, shout out to Marv. I may have to check that out. So you talking about MJ or Coach Marv? You know, because Coach Marv got that deep voice. Which Marv? We got 2 Marvs, man. And both of those guys, the community is strong. With all what those guys do and all what they bring to the table is a level of excitement, and I really appreciate all of the Cowboys community and beyond. Even the 105.3 The Fan, even the ones that we all don't agree with. I love to hear the Cowboy Nation, you know, with different opinion, different thoughts, and things beyond. I appreciate everybody for calling in, by the way. But shout out to you, Patrice, again. And I saw that hat. That hat is going to be dope. The hat's going to be dope. Boy, we went over a lot today, huh? Y'all having a good time? It was one other thing that I was going to go over, and it was about y'all want me to keep going? It was Coach Marv. Okay, appreciate you, CeeDee. Y'all want me to keep going? Let me see how much time I got. Got a few more time. Absolutely. Let me see what we got over here. There's another topic that I wanted to go over. Hold on, bear with me, y'all. Hail Mary. I might go another 30 minutes or so. But I wanted to go over this. Because I kind of looked at it and I said, all right, cool. It's cool to talk about this. You know. Let's see if we can go over this right quick. Let's see if we can go over this. Let's see. This is 105. They did a great topic with
the one who broke his leg famously on Madden, on that famous YouTube clip, Greg Jennings with a broken leg. He has a rankings out on the 33team.com of the top 5 wide receiver groups in the NFL. And he runs through them.
Right quick.
Number one,
I talked about
obvious,
this a little
I think
bit.
right now for everybody, it's Cincinnati. T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase, 3 really strong receivers. Number 2 is the Chargers, especially now that they've added Quentin Johnston, the first-round pick. And they've got, Keenan Allen, Jalen Guyton, all those different guys. Number 3 is the Seattle Seahawks, who get boosted with the selection of Jackson Smith and Jigba. Already have DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. Strong group for sure. Totally understand it. This is where I might start saying, I don't know if these teams definitively have better receiver groups than Dallas. The Miami Dolphins.
Yes.
Tyreek Hill is probably the best of any of the receivers on either team.
Not probably. He is.
He is.
It's not a question.
Jalen Waddle is
very good.
Yeah.
But
he'd be the second best receiver in the Cowboys.
Yes.
Probably, but I mean, Jalen Waddle plays everything underneath. It's, to me, the most overrated wide receiver of our generation. And I don't know that we've ever had this discussion.
Oh, I thought you were calling Jalen Waddle.
Michael Thomas is the volume.
Yeah.
160 receptions for 1,100 yards does not impress me.
No, I agree. But isn't Waddle different? Like, Waddle's
All right. Basically, I'm going to try to fast forward this, but they was going over the top wide receivers, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on this, but hold on. Give me 1 second.
I'm not the biggest fan of Waddle.
If Michael Gallup was Jalen Waddle, I hope you're trying to make the argument for Cooks over Waddle.
Cooks. It would.
And I truly believe that, Jalen Waddle, he's a dog to me. I like Jalen Waddle. He brings a lot to the table. Yes, indeed. Let's go.
I want to see Cooks have a bounce back here, but I think Cooks' consistency is right there in contention with Waddle, and I think definitely the depth behind that. If you talk about Gallup as a third receiver, I think that's better than Cedric Wilson or Braxton Berrios or whoever in Miami.
Waddle just had 75 for 1356 and 8.
Yeah.
At 18 a catch. That's sick.
He catches, he runs. It's great. I'm just saying, I think that
And he can
Brandon
run
Cooks,
past you.
Brandon Cooks can too.
Yeah, I think there's an advantage. There's a skill in the catch and run, right? There's a skill there. And
Wouldn't we all agree, like, now that you realize it's Quez Watkins, wouldn't we all agree that Michael Gallup's a better player overall than Quez Watkins?
I don't know much about Quez Watkins, so I'll say yes.
He is. I'll tell you right now, Sean.
Okay. So put the 6 in order then.
So because real quick. Because in today's NFL,
and we're not counting tight ends.
We have to count.
No. This is just the receivers.
Man, in today's NFL, these wide receivers are there's no such thing as a wide receiver. It's a pass catcher.
That's fine. He is ranking it just as the receiver position, especially because he was a receiver. So I think when you look at the receiver position, here's the 6 that you have: Quez Watkins, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Michael Gallup, Brandon Cooks, CeeDee Lamb. I think if Gallup bounces back the way we think, I think you could say there is the potential that Dallas might have 3 of the 4.
Now, this was an argument that I had the other day about the big 3. The whole notion of Gallup, can he bounce back? That's the only thing that we're waiting for. Granted, Brandon Cooks, we need for him to stay healthy. You know, that's the other side of it, is that can he not have those concussions? And I'm going to lean on the fact that we're going to lean on hope that he don't, right? So that's what I'm leaning on. Lamb, if healthy, Lamb, Cooks, Gallup, that's a nice trio. That's going to benefit these guys right here. Fiocco, Tolbert, Turpin, Jalen Cropper, David Durden, all of those guys going to benefit, believe it or not, from the 3 that I just mentioned. Whether it's, I'm picking up keys on how to run certain routes, I'm picking up release game, I'm picking up, high pointing game, high pointing the ball, pulling it out of the sky. So I'm not going to look at the big 3 as a hindrance to the other guys. So now when Jalen Tolbert goes out there, or even Dennis Houston, those guys on the back end of the roster, this can help that particular area out tremendously.
Put them in order for next year.
CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown, Brandon Cooks, and then I think it's tight, depending on how Gallup bounces back, between Gallup and Devontae Smith.
You know what I've realized
I'm
about
not
you?
even the biggest Gallup fan.
You know what I've realized about you? And
Go ahead.
I think it's actually actually a good thing for the show, because you do have a lot of homers, and we're anti-homer. At least I am. Before you joined this show, you and like a couple groups of other hardcore Dak defenders out there, 2 or 3 I just can't stand, and I hope they never get on a real level of DFW media. I was like, are these guys?
Who y'all think he referring to? All right, so y'all post that in the chat too. But here's the thing with Dak Prescott. And hear me out. Hear me out. There's always going to be people to think that you're only homering it up for him, right? This dude literally, as the quarterback for this team, had only one losing season. And that season was stopped short because of an injury. Now, granted, I'm saying this the best way possible, ladies and gentlemen. The Cowboys organization and franchise, people will say that this team always had weapons. They always had unbelievable talent. They always had X, Y, and Z presented in front of the quarterback. They always had good coaching structure. They always had X, Y, and Z. So name me the team that beat down the door for Jason Garrett. What did Jason Garrett do since he's been gone with the Cowboys? Name me the player that was here with the Cowboys as an offensive weapon, left from a wide receiver group, went elsewhere and did unbelievable numbers. Those are the two things that I'm going to say. Those are the two things. I'm literally waiting. Like, name me what a wide receiver did here that did unbelievable numbers and then went elsewhere and said, oh my goodness, that dude did unbelievable numbers, getting beaten down the door for, right? I can't find it. Name me the coach. Name me where Jason Garrett, if he was such a great guy and wonderful guy, beautiful guy, here, that the Cowboys should have excelled in 16, 17, 18, 19. That he left, went elsewhere, and people were like, hey, man, shoot, they still doing unbelievable numbers. I can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen.
That's just smarter.
Yes.
Or are they homers? And now that I've gotten you in the flesh, and now that you are in person across from me every day, you are a Dallas Cowboy homer.
What?
You are. So I'm not going to call you a fanboy like Slater. That's very insulting. But you are a Dallas Cowboy homer. You are. Stephon, you have turned Stephon Gilmore into the reincarnation. Hang on. Of Deion Sanders when he's old and near a wheelchair, and now Brandon Cooks is
the second coming. He might as well be John Taylor.
He might as well be John Taylor. Like, you are a homer. I mean, you're a Dak homer for sure.
You know what he also backed himself into a corner without knowing it.
Go ahead.
Why?
The Eagles wide receiver corps carried Jalen Hurts all last year.
Right.
The whole Eagles team.
AJ Brown's great.
But now they're not that great.
But now they're not that good. The Cowboys are better, so what happens now?
Yeah.
All right, man. All right, hear me out. Hear ye. Look, A.J. Brown was phenomenal for the Eagles, and I think that was a real grand, like, he should be literally considered MVP for the Eagles. And I know, put that butter knife down, and I know a few Eagles fans is watching. Yeah, Lord, I told you, man. I told you about AJ. But that is what that guy was able to do for them. When I go back and you look at some of those games, the Chicago game, and I'm talking about the Eagles game, right? Eagles versus Chicago. If you go Eagles versus Titans game, Eagles versus I want to say the Colts game. You see number 11 stepping up and doing his job. And even if Jalen drops back, close his eyes and say to Allah, right? Throw the ball. And number 11 is there to pull it out of the sky. He made it capable for number 6 to do his job. Right? Now, granted, is that a knock at Jalen Hurts? No. Granted, is that a knock at A.J. Brown? No. But it goes to tell you that you need wide receivers. You need guys to help elevate your game. Look, I don't know how many Super Bowls. Look, can somebody tell me in the chat how many Super Bowls Troy won without Michael Irvin? Right? And tell me in the chat how many that Michael Irvin won without Troy. You need wide receivers, man. You need somebody that can be that difference maker. Look, and I say this all the time, and there's no hate and shade thrown at Noah Brown, but if Drew Pearson's had Noah Brown's hands, the Hail Mary wouldn't even be considered a Hail Mary. That play wouldn't even go down in history, right? An underthrown ball that he had to turn back around to find it, track the ball, and bring it into his body. We wouldn't even have the word Hail Mary as a play, because what would have happened if Drew would have turned around and he just had Noah Brown phalanges? Oh, my goodness, man. They'd be like, man, it's a hell of a play for Roger Staubach, right? But dang, man, Minnesota Vikings win that game. Minnesota Vikings would have won that game. The Hail Mary wouldn't even be considered a play in the National Football League. That wouldn't even be considered a terminology. It'd just been like, hey, not Aaron Rodgers, but my guy Roger Staubach dropped back. That number 12, the real number 12, dropped back, and he threw the ball, and it ended up being incomplete. Nobody would have been able to talk about that in the history of football. Why? Because he got Noah Brown's hands,
Dak is going to make this receiver. Is this receiver going to carry Dak?
I didn't back myself into a corner at all.
Absolutely did.
No, I didn't.
Absolutely did. Okay, when Dak has a really good year, his best year, I want you to say
Dak's not going to have his best year this year.
And a product by his offense.
Dak's not going to have his best year this year. You've got Pittsburgh Peter Griffin calling the offense. So that's not going to happen. Now, I think definitively.
Do y'all think Bobby on the truckrecord.com text line is
yes.
Do y'all think he's a Cowboys homer?
It's funny because everybody, I get lots of comments all the time that say I'm too negative about the Cowboys and that I'm a Cowboys hater.
Oh, yeah. William, he says A.J. Brown took Hurts from being below average to running it up for MVP. Yeah. Wide receivers do make a difference. I'm not finna say this, but I'm going to say this. But Dante Culpepper sure looked damn near good with Randy Moss, didn't he? 3,630-something yards, 35, something like that, touchdowns. What was Culpepper doing before Randy Moss? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not calling AJ Randy, but you got to understand that this game of sports, put it like this. Let me see if I can find this tweet. Oh my gosh, and it's been because I was gone today, and it seems like I was gone for one day. It feels like an eternity, right? Oh, here it is, right here. Here.
Yeah, you gotta have good players.
Did y'all hear that? Let me see. This is Joe Burrows, not the Home Alone kid, but this is Joe Burrows. They kind of favor one another. But here you go. What did he say again?
Yeah, you gotta have good players. You can't. You see, it doesn't matter how good your quarterback is if you don't have good players around him. You're not going to be a very good team.
Did he say that? So, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But Jamar Chase is real good, man. T. Higgins, he ain't no slouch. You got to have good players. It don't matter how good your quarterback is. He got to have good players, Joe Burrow speaking facts. Shout out to you, Seabass. But what people will say, now granted, I think Burrows will still make it to the playoffs. I think Burrows will still win a playoff game with CeeDee Lamb. I think he would. I'm quite sure he would. Noah Brown. I think Joe Burrow's talent would still be equivalent the same with a hobbled Michael Gallup, right? But last year, when you think about it, he did have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, right? Hayden Hurst. I think all of those boys are pretty good. And I'm not finna sit back and say that those boys are just light years and beyond what we have, right? But dog it, hear me out. Noah Brown, he ain't no T. Higgins. Right. Come on, yo. Hey, man. Give me a chance and an opportunity to say, hey, man, I'm a quarterback. I'm dropping back, and I'm not. Look, people going to think I'm hitting that dog on Noah Brown, but I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Tyler Boyd ain't nobody to sneeze at, too. But come on. Y'all couldn't hear it? Y'all couldn't hear this? Let me see. Turn it all the way up.
Yeah, you got to have good players. You can't. You see, it doesn't matter
it's low.
How good your quarterback is if you don't have good players around him. You're not going to be a very good team.
Look,
my Lord.
Are you saying the Eagles have a better receiver group than the Cowboys?
Man just called Jalen Waddle Michael Thomas.
You cannot say that Michael Gallup is on the level of Devontae Smith.
I'm saying if he bounces back and plays, Devontae Smith is insanely overrated.
Is quite a bit better than Brandon Cooks.
At what?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Playing football. Devontae Smith,
At what?
eighth in defense adjusted yards over replacement, 15th in DVOA.
Okay.
I love this line right here. Ken Owens says, "Man, Burrow made it to the Super Bowl with no offensive line, and Joe that dude." Can you re-say that again? Because without an offensive line, Joe Mixon ran 1,300 yards, 17. I think he had 13 to 14 touchdowns. So is Joe Mixon? So how bad? Look, how bad is that offensive line if you got the running back to still get you 13 to 1,400 yards, right? So how bad is that offensive line, technically speaking? Because that, and then when we say, well, what about, La'el Collins, Cowboys had La'el Collins, and then La'el Collins went there, right? And then he disappeared. So what happened to how great La'el Collins was? How come they still get levels of the word excuses for their pitfalls, and we don't get that right over here? I'm just saying. I'm not saying that Joe Burrow's not nice. So at that point, we got to start saying, hey, this dude literally had 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns, and I'm talking about the running back. 4 out of the 5 offensive linemen for us get hurt, get injured, not a word whispered. Not one syllable mention about, hey, man, the offensive line, hey, Jason Garrett says run blocking and pass blocking is completely different. I thought offensive linemen get graded on offensive lineman play. So with that same thought track, his pass blocking win rate was better than the Cowboys' pass blocking win rate. Oops. Look that up. You know what I'm saying? So come on, man. Let's talk about that. Come on. Put it like this. The year they made it, I ain't going to go down there. Because they still lost. You know what I'm saying? They still lost.
Instead of watching the game.
10 ineffective yards. Oh, I'm sorry. Are we just sitting here just going to use our own blind eyes?
I'm listening.
Use your Homer eyes on this one?
Yeah.
He was actually better than A.J. Brown last year.
No, he was not.
The numbers show he was. I mean, I don't make them up. I don't make them up. I just go by it, okay? I don't make the numbers up. I just use them. Yeah. I use them to punch you in the face.
No doubt. All right, so I got a good question here. But we did have CeeDee and Amari in 2021. And that equates to 40 touchdowns, 10 interceptions in a playoff game, right? So there's the whole argument right there. So when we say we did have X, Y, and Z, well, the results did replicate itself, right? So when people say what the Cowboys do when they did have 2 wide receivers that pretty much did a great job, we can all argue the fact that, yeah, they won 12 games with 2 good wide receivers, and the quarterback was more efficient. Was the quarterback more efficient in 2021 with CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper, juxtaposed to 2022 with CeeDee Lamb and Noah Brown, Dennis Houston, T.Y. Hilton, who came later on down the line in that year, right? And a broken thumb, right? So we got to start looking at the complete picture, not anecdotal information, right? Oh, well, only 1 year. And 9 times out of 10, we do this over and over again of saying what our quarterback looked like with and without, right? Because I can go down the list and say, the years that we were winning, we can go back and say, oh, Troy did have Michael Irvin, right? Oh, Roger Staubach did have his guys, So Tony Hill, Drew Pearson, and all of that, right? So we can go back and forth with, can the quarterback absolutely win without weapons, or can the quarterback win without weapons? The thing would be the same. The quarterback need weapons, because I can't find a quarterback that won it without it outside of no one. I can't find one. We can talk about defenses and things like that of what Tom Brady was able to do. None of his wide receivers was household names. In the year that he did get a household name wide receiver, they did damn near go undefeated until the last game of the year. Let's go.
877-881-1053. I just want y'all to tell me.
Speaking of receivers, which, by the way, Eagles or Cowboys? Who has the better receiving core? I'm just curious now.
I'll say the Cowboys because I know more about Gallup than Watkins.
Yeah.
I think, to me, AJ and CeeDee is a toss-up.
Eagles, I think, have 2 of the top 3. The Cowboys have number 4 and 5.
No. Right.
You're right.
The Cowboys have 3 of the top.
Ken always said, if that's not a bad offensive line, come on, Law. Well, what is considered a good offensive line? Explain, Ken. I got the phone line still open. What is considered 657-390-7391? What would be considered a good offensive line? I'm waiting. What would be considered a good offensive line? Matter of fact, what would be considered a great offensive line? I'm waiting. 657-390-7391. I want somebody to call in and give me what is considered a good offensive line, a great offensive line, an elite offensive line. What would be the considerations of that? What do that look like? Let's get this from the 206. My guy, MJ, you're live.
What up, Law?
Nothing much, bro. Nothing much. Can you explain to me what is considered a great offensive line?
Well, let me tell everybody, if they don't know football. Everybody don't have all pros on their line.
Right.
Y'all thinking Philly offensive line was okay. No. But made Philly offensive line look good. And you Cowboy fans got to watch football. You got to watch football. Everybody need to watch football. The quarterback was an extra running back.
Talk to him. Yeah.
That made Philly, if you take 700 yards, 800 yards, they would not be the random one. That's what y'all keep forgetting. The guy ran for 700 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. Cowboy fans, you got to watch football, man. And they offensive line is okay. I'm going to tell y'all something. When Big Marcy get over him, we got the strongest defensive lineman in pro football now. Watch how he destroyed that center.
Yep.
And watch what happens. So the Cowboy offensive line got one of the best offensive lines. It's the scheme. It's like Law say, if your foundation ain't built right, it make your team look pitiful.
Yeah.
You have Kellen Moore, Video Keem Raheem, don't call the right plays. They never had a scheme. Y'all need to go watch a Koya film. He gonna show you Scottamore how the offensive line run, how a new offensive line coach the line, how the plays are beautiful. And when he showed me, I even watched. I said, man, I see why Wilson was making Pro Bowls. That play action fake and the receiving routes.
Right.
That them receivers was running for Seattle, it was wide open every time.
Mm-hmm.
With screens, dump offs, and then the receivers just running freely. They wasn't thinking. The Cowboy receivers He's going to be one of the most dangerous receivers. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Y'all don't know. Cook is better than Philadelphia. What's the number 6? Cook went to 2 Super Bowls, had almost got 8,000 yards receiver, and still 29 years old. You don't get old until you're about 33 or 34. He'll turn 30 this year. That guy's still running a 4.3.
Yeah.
You guys is crazy, man. And this guy, they finna light them up. And Gallup gonna be ready. Man, y'all finna be shocked. We gonna have the number 1 offensive team. Watch what I tell you.
Get it.
Put some money on it. We're going top 5 offense. We're going to have a top 5 defense. And y'all slip it on Gilmore. Gilmore is going to make that defense get so many more sacks. Watch what I tell you. You got 5th. Our defense is ahead of theirs. Y'all thinking because they dropped them guys. Then they just signed old man Sue back again because they had to. See, they nervous. They nervous.
Right.
Man, we got to get Sue again. Sue, you want to come back and play? The Cowboys team is young, strong, fast. They already got the ups on them. Them young boys from Philly got to come in and try to repeat. You know, they got to catch up. They in the catch-up move.
No doubt.
And one more, Law.
Get it.
It ain't the Cowboy fan. It ain't about the Cowboys, what they got. The Redskins drafted to beat Philly on that run, and the Giants when they picked up Robinson. So they gonna get 3. They're gonna lose to the Giants. They're gonna lose to Cowboys, and they're gonna lose to the Redskins because everybody is wiggling their little face. And that lady on that TV show, she be talking that smack. I don't trust Dak. Okay, when Dak made it to the Super Bowl, you did the same thing for my Lakers. You always talking that smack. Talking about State.
Talking about George Taylor. Yeah. Yeah.
George Taylor, I hope you hear this. I'm going to laugh at you, you woman. Queen. Hey, you my queen. Queen. Boy, we gonna tear you up, lady. We going to get the last laugh.
I appreciate you, man. MJ, thank you for calling in, man. All right, bro.
Yes,
hey, scheme is, can somebody answer me this? Cowboys from 1990 to 1999, how many offensive linemen were drafted in the first round? Can y'all put that number down, right? Since that construct is considered what makes a good offensive line. Can y'all put how many guys did they drafted in the first round? And was it scheme, talent, or whether a person was drafted to make them a good offensive line? And the answer is really in front of you. All right, so from the 251, you're live. 251, you're live. 251.
Hey, talk to me, buddy.
Yeah, you're live, man. You live. Yeah. You're live.
You said a great offensive line. I don't want my quarterback to get touched this year. Don't touch him.
Right.
I want him to wear the same uniform every single day. That'd be a great offensive leader.
Right.
That's what I want right there, baby, my man.
No doubt, man.
Don't touch my quarterback.
Don't touch him. Don't touch him, man. Don't touch him. You can look at him. You can look, but don't touch, man.
Now you can look, don't touch. I don't want you to breathe on it.
Yes, indeed, bro.
That'd be my perfect offensive line right there.
That's the best. Hey, that philosophy is what it is. Don't touch him. Look, but don't touch, man. I appreciate you, fam.
That's what I want. All right.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you, man. I got a lot of echo from your background, man, but I thank you for calling in, Chief. That's a good call from 251. Don't touch the quarterback. That's be considered a good. Cowboys UGA, man. You live, man.
What's good with the law? I got 2 questions, man.
Talk to me, man.
What you think the Cowboys' record gonna be this year? I seen the schedule. Yeah, I got about 14-2, man.
Who the 2 games we losing to then? Cause I didn't do this show yet. I didn't do my Predicto show yet. You know.
I think I had us dropping one to Philly, 1 game to Philly.
At home or on the way? At home or where we losing?
Philly.
In Philly, we losing in Philly.
And in Buffalo, in the cold.
In the cold.
Yeah. in the cold.
Okay.
And I don't think
A close game? Is it going to be close or is it going to be I'm thinking now, dog. How we losing, man?
Probably not by much because our defense is nice. It probably by a field goal.
By a field goal.
Probably we might miss a kick in the end.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Might miss a kick.
Okay, we lose it at the final minutes, man. You know, like a field goal win. We don't even know who our kicker is. So,
In the
snow. In the snow, we lose at the final minutes of the game. Yeah, and then in the Eagles game, how we lose that one though?
By a field goal.
By a field goal again.
A field goal.
Oh my God, I don't want to do that live stream after it, but it is what it is. I can't wait for the season, man. I can't wait for us to get it out of the mud. But here I go again, man. Homer Law. I'm going to be a Homer Law. Hear me out. I came close last season. I was dead right the year before. We sweep the NFC East.
That's possible.
Hey, man, we sweeping, man. I'm pulling out my broom. We sweeping those boys. We sweeping the NFC East. I think that I'm going to go back and look at this schedule. We got some losses in there. But for dog sure, if I'm going to use the operative word, if number 4 is healthy, we sweeping them. Book it.
What you and your brother got planned for the game? You know we got the Niners on the schedule.
Week 5. We planning on. We try to work that out. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see if we can go to that actual game, but we gonna figure it out. I think that he's. You know what? I'm gonna save a show. That's what I'm gonna do. When we go, we're gonna go game for game down the line. That's when I'm gonna do my prediction. He gonna do his prediction for his Niners. I'll do my prediction for my Cowboys. We'll do that show, maybe in the following weeks or sometime.
Yeah, that's gonna be dope.
It's gonna be dope, man. The Twin Maker, we're gonna do that show live, man, and he gonna give analysis. It's gonna be a long show. We're gonna have our libations and everything. We're gonna do it at night. I'm just gonna go ahead and we're gonna go line up all of our teams, and we're gonna go 1 for 1.
I think the loser should have to wear the other team's jersey.
Oh my goodness, man! Seeing my brother in a Cowboys jersey, man, it's gonna be nice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. Seeing him in a Cowboy jersey, I'll go get him maybe. Let me see who I should give him. Maybe a Diggs. Yeah. Put him in a Dak jersey. Yeah. He kind of like Dak a little bit. He's been trying to get Dak for his team for a minute. So now that'd be doing too much pleasure for him. Maybe give him a Parsons jersey because he truly believed that his edge rusher Bosa is a whole lot better than Parsons. So yeah, him in a Parsons jersey, and to get him to admit that Parsons is better, that would go hard for me, bro.
Oh man,
yeah. He gonna admit it this year though. When he see Parsons this year, he's gonna flat out say, "Man, bro, shoot, you always right, man. Parsons is better than Bosa, man. Watch, I'm gonna get him to say it. Watch what Parsons do this year."
I hope he break the sack record.
Oh yeah,
he got a big man in the middle.
Oh yeah,
I hope he can break it.
Oh yeah. But
I got one question for you.
Go give it to me.
I know it's kind of off topic, but they talking about suspending Ja Morant for half a season. Do you think that punishment is worthy of a half a season suspension?
That's very steep, especially in a state that allows him to carry. Now, I know young cats, they love to flash, so the optics is really bad, especially, at the height of him doing that video. But for damn sure, the people that he rolling with don't got his best intentions, right? So it's about, making sure that the people that you're rolling with roll with you. You know what I'm saying? Because for one, why is he live with 130 people? You know what I'm saying? It's not like it was like we got more people live watching this than John Morant had live watching his crunk video that he pulled out the weapon. You know what I'm saying? So like at what cost does the fame, is that worthy of a value, right? So granted, we did all type of crazy things, man. Granted, when I'm traveling, I'm always carrying, right? But you never see Law showing his guns and seeing what kind I got, right? You know what I'm saying? Nobody know what I'm toting, right? Nobody know the element of surprise. The gun is there to protect, not to flash, right? Like the money in the account is there to spend to help build your family, right? To be able to make sure that you can take care of X, Y, and Z, take care of home. Law's not finna roll around with $2,000 on cash. Look, right now I can be one of those YouTubers that they can go to the banking account, pull out my cash and be like, yeah, man, I'm Law Nation, man. Yeah, I'm Law Nation, right? Somebody bust down that door, take the money from my hand. What do that prove, right? Whereas if I'm got money in my account and somebody jump in the car, right? And they can either steal the money from my credit card or whatever it may be from my card, I can claim and get all of that back, right? I can go counter that and say, hey, this person swiped my card, took my card. It's all about moving different. And I hope that John Morant look at this and say, hey, I got plenty of football left in my lifespan, right? And if they're going to suspend this kid for half of a year, he should look back and say, man, dang, that was an idiot. How old is John Morant, by the way?
23.
He got, look, doggone LeBron James playing at 40. So he got a long way to go. If he want to continue to keep his career and do the right things, then he should use the half of a season as a learning experience, but also make his circle smaller. It just make his circle smaller, and those that roll with him will have better intentions instead of going live. It's not, put it like this, it's absolutely okay for him to have that heat. It's absolutely okay for him to have the gun. I'm pro-gun. You know what I'm saying? I want him to have that protection, right? But the problem is the people that he's rolling with, they ain't really rolling with him. You know what I'm saying? That's just the bottom line, man.
Yeah, that's right. You know, I think he fortunate he in a market like Memphis, because had he been in Dallas with a franchise like the Cowboys,
yeah,
it would have been really blow. They'd be really coming for his head. You know,
right?
You know how the Cowboys look how they did Zeke. And
yeah.
Zeke wasn't even involved with no guns, man. Like. So I just think I hope he gets his life together, man. I hate to see somebody throw all that kind of stuff away when you don't have to, and you know the league going, you know, that one and done.
Yeah.
The high school, they put millions in these young guys' pockets with no direction.
Man.
And that's just going back into their narrative, like, man, like you got to be on your best behavior because you think LeBron winding down, and this man's going to be the Doc arguably could be the face of the NBA,
right?
If he plays cards right.
But you know what? You know what's happening now, though, fam? Money is at its all-time high because money is almost like a spirit. It got its own, you know, flows of things, and not everybody is eligible to understand money. I had a sit-down conversation with a fella yesterday, and we was just talking about, like, now college players are getting this crazy bag, right? These guys, I think, I'm not going to name the school because it's going to give away, but all of the players on the football team, whether you make it as a water boy or a starting player, with the new agreement, they get $25,000 a semester. You see what I'm saying? So think about this. You're playing, and you're not even making it to the pros yet. And you're getting $25,000 a semester. I remember back in my days, you see what I'm saying? We would get those student loans, and a piece of that refund would be like $4,000 or $5,000. You know what I'm saying? And we were partying. You know, I went to a club called Freelon down in Mississippi. We'd give a third of that away. You see what I'm saying? Because we didn't necessarily have guidance, right? But these young guys now, they are rolling in cash. They got guys now that's finna get a $3 to $4 million deal, and they haven't even played professional football yet, but they're getting their mind all messed up because maybe they grew up in the hood, maybe they grew up with less fortunes, maybe their mom and they didn't come from a 2-parent household, right? And now they're getting all of this remuneration. And what that do is money also bring in fakeness. You get people that will roll with you, that really not with you, and you're gonna see things that what John Moran is doing similar on a lower level. And it's about to get crazy unless they have somebody to manage them and also manage their friends and let people know that the fame is one thing, but the money is another thing. And resources also bring the type of resources that these young kids are getting now is also going to bring in the type of energy that you don't want to see. So it's going to have to be responsibility from the top that sprinkles all the way down. And that John Morant, he never had.
Well, you know, he's from South Carolina, the Sumter area, and that's a pretty rough area. But from what I understand, he was in a private school and not a bad area.
Right.
So his upbringing is kind of better than
most.
I would say the average thug or gangster. So, and that's more mind-boggling that, you know, he's trying to forge his identity. Like if you got to listen to NBA YoungBoy and it make you want to throw pistols and do all this kind of crazy activity, and it's gonna cost you that kind of money, then go be a rapper and leave the NBA and go out there and tote guns and be a thug, however you want to do it.
Right.
I hope you find some guidance and I hope you look at the guys like Gilbert Arenas that went through that, and then look at Javaris Christian that didn't make the same guy that brought that gun in the locker room with the Wizards. With Gilbert.
Right.
He's in prison on a murder for murder now.
Oh, wow.
He was the number 4th round draft pick. So that's a tale of two roles of somebody that got their act together and somebody that didn't.
True. Yeah, man. Man, no doubt, man. UGA, Cowboy, man. Appreciate you, fam. Be safe out there in the streets, man. Hey, are you by those boys, those water boys? If you don't give them money, they're trying to throw something at you. You down that way? Nah. But you heard the stories, though. You know what I'm saying? You tell them no, they get mad at you. They crazy down there in Atlanta, man. I heard some stories down there, but appreciate you, bro.
I'm a little bit deeper down by Savannah.
Oh, by Savannah. Okay. All right, bro. Salute, bro. That's a good call for him, man. Youngins are different, man. They look for the fame. They getting fame real quickly. Some people, they do for a lot of things for attention. I saw a guy on TikTok. He think it's really fun to have his camera out, to walk into somebody, like pull on doors and walk into somebody's house that's not theirs. And they like, yeah, man, I'm on TikTok, man. Yeah. And they going into people's houses, right? And they like, wait a minute, you know what I'm saying? But shoot, I said, that's all fun and games. I think they originally started that little trend. It's trends, like people do some crazy stuff, man. Some trends, you know what I'm saying? Like, they started that trend in the UK. Like, that's cool and all. You going into people's house unannounced and you want to get TikTok famous. But do that in Mississippi. Do that in Texas. You know what I'm saying? You going to walk in, but you ain't going to walk out. You know what I'm saying? So people do crazy things for fame. And that's the craziest thing of it all, ladies and gentlemen. This new age, They talked about our generation being bad, but I think that this new generation that's behind us, like now this generation that's going on now, is a whole different kinds of crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, shoot, my grandma and them, they didn't know. You know what I'm saying? They thought our generation was bad. Shoot. Yes, indeed. Walking through, slow singing, flowers bringing. Yes, indeed. All right, so let me get Mark that drive trucks, man. You're live from the 832.
Hey, no, what's going on, man? You remember me, right?
Yeah, I got you down now, dog. You know, from the 832. You know.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I appreciate that, man. How you doing? How you doing?
Hey, man, I'm doing great, man.
Hey, great. Hey. That's a thing with John Morant, man. You know, hopefully, he gets some things sorted out, put together. And I agree with you. His environment has got to change. The people around him got to change and got to get better.
You got to, man.
The problem with that though is y'all got the money.
He got the money.
Going to him do what he do as long as he got the money. So if he don't have people around him that are going to be okay if they tell him no, for example, don't do this or don't do that. And Jock cut him off or sign him on or some shit like that.
Yeah.
He's got to have people that's going to be willing to tell him the truth, even if it costs him being around him and money and stuff like that. So
man, that's the hardest thing to explain to somebody who make more money than you what to do, right? And that's we seen that in the workforce, man. That supervisor I remember that supervisor that got paid $1.50 more than you. You couldn't tell that supervisor nothing, man. You getting paid $1.50 more than me. I found out it was end up being 50 cents back in the day. I was like, you getting paid 50 cents more than me, and you think you own this place, man? Come on, man. I'm only 5 minutes late. Come on. So you already know how it goes.
Hey, man. But also, I wanted to touch on what you said, what you've been talking about, the offensive line and with the Cowboys and things like that, and the new OC and the new play caller.
Yeah.
I love what you did when you brought up that stuff with Schottenheimer when he was just in Seattle with Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Long story short with that, man, that team played a lot better offensively than anybody expected them to, because the only name they had over there was Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the Tyler Lockett kid was all right as a wide out there, but they had a whole lot of guys. They did running back by committee. You couldn't name but one person on the offensive line if you could name that one person, right? But they had a good game plan, and, I said it's about Russell Wilson. People were talking about letting Russ cook and all of this because the scheme he was in and the OC was putting him in good spots and making sure he was, running plays Russell could be successful with. Soon as Russell get to Denver, and hey, it's a lot of things into that, but as soon as Russell get to Denver, he don't have that same kind of play calling structure around him. Things fall apart. So hey, what's gonna happen here is a lot of what you saw happen, I think, in Seattle, but he's gonna have a lot more talent to work with here in Dallas than he had in Seattle. So hey,
no doubt.
I don't expect them to do nothing but hit the ground running. I really don't.
Right.
They might not have as many of them 40-burger games as they had in the past, because it's really not going to be the MO is to put points on the board as much as it is going to be winning the game. But man, they're going to act a fool to people. I just believe that. Because they got an idea of how they want to play football. They're not just calling plays.
Man, you know what? What made it, and my brother can say this too.
Mm-hmm.
What made Seattle such a difficult team to beat, because they rarely gave you opportunities to do such. Literally, if you make a mistake, that mistake gonna hunt you, even if it was in the first quarter, because Russell tend to not give the ball away. When they're going to throw calculated passes. It's not going to be forced passes. It's going to be that Russell's rolling out to the edge, right? Because he always had to use those Russell legs. It's not like he had 1, 2, 3 step drop and throwing it. They had to roll Russell out to see over the offensive line. They had to put Russell in, and they had to craft him and put him in good, favorable positions. And when they got the lead, They're going to run the ball. They're going to do all of those other things, and Russell will cook that way. They were always in playoff contentions. They were always a team that also, believe it or not, won multiple playoff games in that way. And my thing is, of course, they only got one Super Bowl win, but they went to 2 Super Bowls. And Schottenheimer wasn't a part of that regime, but you can see the flow of that team. Whereas they went defensive dependent, then they went run game to help the defense dependent, right? They went to playing safe football to help out the defense, because during the latter part, I would say the Seattle's defense kind of dropped off in 17, 18, and 19. They kind of pretty much dropped off, but what expanded and helped them was their run game and Russell Wilson not being the guy to turn over the ball.
Exactly. And that's what if Dak needs anything at all, he needs some help knowing that it's okay to manage a football game. We watched Patrick Mahomes just in the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes didn't throw for 200 yards and win the Super Bowl. You don't have to. If you can win the game, win the game. Joe Burrow, that year they went to the Super Bowl, Joe Burrow had a couple of games in the playoffs where he wasn't, where Joe Burrow was supposed to be.
Defense. Yeah. Ryan Tannehill threw about 4 interceptions.
Yeah. And that's not the dog or shame Joe Burrow, because ain't nobody perfect.
Right.
But again, it's a team game, and you got to have an idea of how it's not checkers, man, it's chess.
Right. But at the end of the day, nobody got any shade or credit for that defense. It gave it all to one person, Joe Burrow. They gave it all to Joe Burrow. and I'm not even taking away from Joe Burrow. I'm not even taking away from him. Good kid.
That's what makes Joe Burrow special. Joe Burrow understands that. Because I don't know, you couldn't get another young player to say that.
No, you couldn't get
it. Especially not one like Joe Burrow that's got this hype around him and everybody love him and he's the next big thing. And he deserves all the accolades. I'm not throwing no shade at Joe Burrow, but he got enough sense to know I can't do it by myself, and I didn't do it by myself.
Right.
So we put a lot of expectations on Dak here, and a lot of that has got everything to do with history and whatnot. But we can't be talking out of both ends of our mouth. At one point, all of us were talking crazy about Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
And Jason Garrett probably did more to ruin Tony Romo's career than anybody.
I mean, he had the most opportunity. But here's the craziest thing of it all. Jason Garrett is, I believe, is the second all-time winningest coach for the Cowboys. I mean, come on, you know what I'm saying? he been here long enough, you know what I'm saying? But ain't nobody gonna be like, hey man, he the second all-time winningest coach for the Cowboys. But he's had a longer opportunity. So that's how it goes, man.
That's how it goes. Well, we'll see how it goes, man. But I like the idea of fixing the offense so that the only somebody that really needs to make a decision about where the ball is going is Dak. I don't want the receivers out here running no routes and they decide they're going to run it short or they're going to come it back hard enough. Forget all of that. That's the quarterback. Let him call the play. Well, let the OC call the play. You want to change somebody's route, somebody's route, go hot somewhere. Keep it simple and move the football. And we'll see how it goes, man. But appreciate you, Long, man. And I'm going to keep rolling out here, man. Let me know. Let you know we're rolling with the nation out here.
Man, appreciate you, man. Give me a horn sound or something, man. Let me know.
Oh, let me stop. I get, hold on.
But you in the truck for real?
Yeah, I'm in the truck for real.
Oh, okay, man. Don't blow that horn, man. You gonna have people sliding off the road, man.
Oh, we all right.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man. Hey, man, look. All right, bro. Salute, man. DC for life, man. Yes, indeed. All right, man. Don't have somebody driving. Oh, my God. Hey, man, what happened, man? Shoot. Don't want them drive people off the road, man. In the name of laudation, you know. All right. We got all right, we got Mike from the 484. You're live, Mike.
What up with you, Law?
Nothing to it, man. Holler at me, man, from the 484. You're live.
All right, a few things. I want to answer your question first when you asked, what's the marquee of a great offensive line? Timing.
Yeah.
Timing. Okay? Timing is the marquee of a great offensive line. Everything has to work in synchrony.
Right.
Everything. From the pass block to receivers' routes to the 2.5 seconds the quarterback really has to get the ball out of his hands.
Right.
If there was anybody to show you what a great offensive line could be, it was, sorry to say it, Tom Brady. Tom Brady probably had the quickest release. They say he had one of the quickest releases in the game, right?
Yep.
Well, that's because everything worked in synchrony. Everything. From the halfback, getting out on the pass block, chipping somebody, to a tight end, throwing a little chip and then getting out on the quick out. Remember, Tom Brady didn't throw a ball over 10 yards for like the first 5 years of his career.
Talk to him, man. Preach to him, man. They don't understand that part, though.
The first 3 Super Bowls, he literally didn't have much but Dante Stallworth. Like, real talk. Like, let's talk about it. Like,
I mean, I like Branch a little bit. Was he on that team or one of them? Yeah, he's all right. Yeah, he
was good, but I mean, they're talking about deep threats.
Yeah.
Dante Stallworth was the deep threat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be honest. And then he didn't really start throwing balls over 20 yards until he got Chad Ochocinco, until he got Randy Moss.
Right.
Those guys. You know, so if you want to know what a great offensive line looks like, look at any one of Tom Brady's teams, even in Tampa Bay. Everything has to work in synchrony. Everything.
Yep.
My next thing. I keep hearing this name, Justin Herbert. Why? Why am I still hearing Justin Herbert? What has he done to show that he has a high ceiling? What has he done to show that he's better than a Dak Prescott who has 7 years in, who has literally the same numbers as a Tom Brady? Literally. No other quarterback since Dak has been playing has better numbers than Dak than Tom Brady. Not Aaron Rodgers, not Drew Brees, not Carson Stench, nobody.
Oh, my gosh, man.
Then Dak Prescott. In the past 7 years, that's what it's been. Now there's no more Tom Brady. There's no more Tom Brady. Everybody wants to know. Everybody's saying, you know, I hear Joy and all those guys, you know, what is that? Speak for yourself. Or
Speak for yourself. Yeah.
I keep hearing them say, well, I mean, like last season, there's no excuses. All right, so if you're telling me Jason Kelce goes down, that the Eagles still have the same success, there should be no excuses, right?
True, and more true. Yeah.
So you telling me Lane Johnson goes down for a period of time, not just with an abdominal strain to come back after a bye, you know what I'm saying? But for a period of time, like Terrence Steele did, you mean to tell me there's still no excuses? I mean, let's be honest, because we had a couple of guys go down for a period of time, but we weren't allowed any excuses.
I mean,
we weren't allowed any excuses. Not only were we not allowed any excuses, I've heard even Swagoo say, when Tyron Smith went down, well, I think that's our season. That's our season, but we went 12-5. With our hurt Terrence Steele, with our hurt Tyron Smith, with a Jason Peters who was well overweight and probably not in football shape. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about it. I mean, if we're really going to do it, let's talk about it. You know, with a number one receiver, a third receiver, and a shell of a second receiver, but we still went 12-5. You know what I'm saying? With the shell of himself of Ezekiel Elliott, and then the emergence of the late emergence of Tony Pollard, and that was the Cowboys doing that. He was late in his emergence because he was an animal last year. He was an animal the year before. The problem was we invested so much in Zeke that we were so blind to see that a 2 running back set would be perfect, and they proved that this year.
Yeah, hey, man, you preaching over here, man. You got no. You spitting the truth, man. When you got, like, for example, and I was looking for it and seeing if I can find it right quick on my Twitter. All right, so for example, you got people like Dan Orlovsky, right?
Yeah.
He got a following that he don't have a massive following, but the network that he's on got a massive following, right? And they are located in the East Coast, right? And of course, speak for yourself. I think whatever the one Joy Taylor's on with Colin Cowherd, he pretty much is the vocal leader on that side of the world, and that's in you can consider that West Coast a little bit because they are in LA, right? So when you got that, all right, on all corners of the world, right, and they get a chance to spit their rhetoric, right, and there's no counter to that, and that is what's going to get people attracted to viewerships and things like that, to say your quarterback is ass, or to say the team win in spite of. He says right here, this was a tweet earlier, QBs, you will win because, and he says Allen, Rodgers, Burrows, Lamar, Trevor Lawrence, Herb, Mahomes, and Jalen Hurts, you will win a game because of those. Quarterbacks, you will win a lot with Tua, Mac, Jimmy Garoppolo, Dak, Goff, Kirk, Cousins, of course, Geno. And then he says big seasons of answerings of big question marks would be Stafford, Ritter, Fields, Jones, I guess that's Daniel Jones, Russell Wilson, Watson, and I guess Pickett. So this guy have the ability, right, to sway the minds of those who don't watch every Cowboys content, right? And they will only listen to only a fraction, because we love the Cowboys. We comb through every tape. They are not. So those who are fractionally listening to it, if you keep saying Allen is great, Allen is great, Allen is great, Allen is great, then when you turn on the tape and you watch fractions of Josh Allen tape, you're going to say Allen is great, Rodgers is great, Rodgers is great, Rodgers is great. You're going to see, hey, you're going to continue to believe that Aaron Rodgers is great. 2 back-to-back MVP seasons. First one and done in the playoff, 2 times in a row being back-to-back MVP. But nobody, mama, uncle, cousin will say that, because all of the networks, they don't like him. They love him. And they're still leaning on the bag that was buried, you know what I'm saying, that he got, I meant to say, in 2010.
Yeah.
Well, so that's just how it goes.
Here's my issue with this like and love popularity contest that people have here. I think Joe Burrow, I think I heard you put up a clip of Joe Burrow, and it literally said, oh, well, you got to have good players, because if you can have a great quarterback, the problem is if you ain't got good players around him, the team's not going to be good.
Right.
I mean, what more do you need right there?
Right.
You know? No, we don't have an A.J. Brown on our team. No, we don't got a Cooper Kupp on our team. But what we do have is guys, and somebody said something to me a couple of weeks ago, it was like, we have a tendency to build up receivers. We really, say baseball, right?
Right.
Our farm system, you know what I'm saying? Our farm system for wide receivers,
Right.
is bar none. It's bar none. We make nothing out of something. We make something out of nothing.
Right.
I mean, I've said this to you before, and like probably 5 videos ago, who was Dalton Schultz and Blake Jarwin before Dak Prescott?
Point example.
Who were these guys? They weren't number 1 picks. You know what I mean? Dak Prescott wasn't a number 1 pick, but he's creating a legacy that people are following. And CeeDee Lamb, he's a legitimate number 1. You're going to see 10 times a better Michael Gallup this year. Brandon Cooks, and I really have high hopes. For Jalen Moreno Cropper.
Right.
I think that kid, if you insert him little by little, like as your sneaky peek, you know what I'm saying? You insert him little by, listen, we will tear the top off of defenses.
Yeah.
But that all predicated on
and here's the craziest thing of it all, fam, before I let you go. I've literally seen Justin Jefferson get shut down in 4 games. Green Bay Packers game, Eagles game, you know what I'm saying? Cowboys, whenever he play us, right? But they take those tapes. And it never happened for Justin Jefferson, right? But if the same thing happened for CeeDee Lamb, it would have been played over and over again. CeeDee Lamb against good competition, never able to get over the hump, right? Oh, CeeDee Lamb lose concentration. You know what I'm saying? But we take CeeDee Lamb, and he burns through all the Green Bay DBs over there, right? He burns through Slay and Bradbury. You know what I'm saying? Eating them up. But not one person bring up the fact that, hey, CeeDee Lamb is cooking over here, man. Justin Jefferson, you ever seen that meme? Yeah.
The starting quarterback missed 5 games.
Right.
And you still get over 1,300 yards.
Big facts.
And you were the only target.
Big facts.
I'm not going to say you were the only target, but you were the only target.
Right.
We had the scheme plays for you to get open so you could get that 1,300 yards. And that was 5 games without our quarterback. So, I mean, I'm going to let all the haters say what they're going to say. You know what I'm saying? Again, Tom Brady won. Since 2016, Tom Brady won. Dak Prescott too. That's all I'm going to say. The numbers suggest it. The numbers show it. I'm not making the shit up. You know what I'm saying? It's right there. Just read them. You know what I'm saying? You already know. You be good out there, Law, man. DC 12, my baby. You be good.
No doubt, man. That's my guy, Mike, man. So you guys get what I'm saying? But now Law is a hater of Justin Jefferson. No, I like Justin Jefferson. But his woes, like when he do bad, they will whisper those. You know what I'm saying? They will shout out all of his success. And it's the inverse for the Cowboys. They will whisper all success. Hey, man, it's because you ain't good. But the moment we do bad, hey man, look at all those interceptions, man. This dude terrible. Look at all those drops, man. He's horrible, man. That's not a game that I was in fear of when we seen Justin Jefferson on the other side. If we Diggs, they should have all type of memes and quotes saying Diggs is the shutdown of Justin Jefferson. I mean, shoot, Justin Jefferson, you might as well said he had C-19. You know what I'm saying? He shut down, you know what I'm saying? He couldn't even walk outside when he played against Diggs. But that would have been the argument and the angle, you know what I'm saying, if the roles were reversed. I promise y'all, if you take CeeDee Lamb and you put him on another team, they would be talking like CeeDee Lamb is Justin Jefferson. If you take Trevon Diggs and put him on another team, they'll be talking to us like he is the next great thing since sliced bread. But that's the story of another day, y'all. Come on. All right, I got Action Rhyme and Jackson, man, from the 945. You live.
What's going on, Lau?
Hey, man, all is well. Can't complain.
Yeah, bro. I don't got too much to say about nothing. I just want to get on and say I appreciate that mix, man. That was fire. You know what I'm saying? I shared it. You know what I'm saying? You bugged me up. I said, yeah, man. I'm kind of, you know what I'm saying? I know Mr. 100K, man. It's like my right hand, man. You know what I'm saying? $5,000. You know what I'm saying?
With the plan, man.
Yeah.
Yes,
with
indeed.
the plan.
Yo, man, we get it. We get it going, man. We get it going, man. That's what we do.
I appreciate that. Much love, my brother. Much love. And I just wanted to comment on it. I ain't trying to make it about John Moran. I just want to comment on that John Moran.
No, you can't. You can't.
You know what I'm saying? You was like how you was like, it's his friends, but his friend, right? Okay. You bucked up. You with John Moran. You like you want to show people, yeah, I'm rolling with. I'm on my live. They do these days. We didn't come by that live, but that's what they do.
That's what they do, man.
I looked at the live. He literally looked at it. His friend went back to him. And then when he panicked back to John the second time, when he pulled out the gun. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, he's like, you know what I'm saying? His friend hurried up and ended the video, but TMZ and all that other, they've been waiting on that. They zoomed in like, he pulled out the gun. His friend tried to end the live quick. Because his friend was like, bro, what are you doing?
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on now. Hold on. Wait a minute. Are you giving his friend an alibi? You know what I'm saying? The benefit of the doubt. What are you saying, man?
Only because John looked at the camera. you know, if you know and I know, if I'm the big dog, he know he the breadwinner of that whole circle.
Right.
And they can't tell him nothing. You know what I'm saying? He looked at the camera. He know he just got in trouble for this. He looked at the camera, and when dude paying back to himself, and when he paying back to the car, to everybody in the car again, Ja then pulled out the gun. So it's like, why would you do that when you know he was on live? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I ain't trying to give him no alibi, but I do see where, you know what I'm saying, where he kind of did it to himself. And
I mean, now he is his own man, right? So he's gonna face the blunt of the circumstance, or whatever the circumstances may be, right? If he's gonna get suspended for half of a year or what have you, his friend gonna walk away scot free. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of it, whether or not. Hey, what are they doing going live? What was the whole point of that? Like they crunk, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess, you know, bro, like I say, I guess it's what they do these days. You know, they ain't know we come in our day and age coming up in the 90s, we don't know no face, no case type, you know? But now it's like, you know, it's a popularity thing.
Now I know it's a popularity thing. So this, like the first time they was in the club, they was in strip club, right? You know, cakes everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, his shirt off, his friend all close to him, like, hey, what's going on with that? What's the whole point of going to the strip club and waving your gun? You know what I'm saying? There's innocent cheeks over there. You know what I mean? So why would you do that? Like, what's the whole point of that part of it? Like, why are you in there? You know.
No, he's not. It's not like he was in a regular club, man. You in a club for fun.
For fun.
Why you bringing that energy?
Well, yeah.
You know, I never in my life went to a strip club with the intention of I need my gun to go up in here.
Right.
Not that gun, at least.
No, not that gun. And the second time, they driving, right? I would give the only way I give him a slight benefit of the doubt if he is in the crib, right, in the house, right, and it's because the gun rules and regulations that would stand by the fact that he's not in a public area, right. He's in the confines of his own home. You can fight and defend that, but we all know that the club, that is a public domain, right, allegedly.
Right.
And we do know that riding the car, anything can pop off and slip off while you're driving, and it could be somebody trying to go to the store and eat their oodles and noodles, right? And now they gone. So at the end of the day, man, it's not like he's hanging around people we're clear-minded. Like, there's no way possible if me and Ja is hanging out together. You know, I'm old enough to be his father, but there's no way that I'm going to be over here showing and brandishing my gun. You know what I'm saying? Or allowing him to do such, because I'm going to be sitting here saying, hey, man, we got generational things going on here, man. You know, but it's just really crazy, man.
Like, I mean, generational wealth, $200 million, bro. Like, you know, why would you want to jeopardize that? And you know, think about this. Basketball, you know, they're a large machine itself. $1 billion corporation.
Right.
Imagine if he was in the NFL and he did that. You know, that shield is much tougher than that basketball association. That shield is tough, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that shield,
I don't know. I don't even know how he become, you know, they suspended Kevin really for a parlay ticket.
Yeah.
Just imagine if you're embarrassing them when they done trying to make you the face of that league, and you embarrassing them. That you know. I mean, call it what it is. You know, the corporate, they don't like that. That's a bad look.
But you know what? He got enough money that the moment that would have happened, you know what I would have done? I wouldn't have first had the gun. First and foremost, brandishing it in the open whip. But as soon as that heat and that sweat dropped down on me, I would have went back and did another video, right? And hooked up, because you know they got AIs everywhere, you know, artificial intelligence and beyond, right? I would have did another video like, yeah, and I would have artificial and, you know what I'm saying, CGI, some machines and machete, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, no, man, this is part of a upcoming skit that I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? And then we was going to say at the end, don't play with guns, you know what I'm saying? I would have flipped that thing so quick because 250 million, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you right.
I would have figured out a way to CGI, chat GPT that thing in there. Hey, you know, hey, young NBA young boy. I'd have had a multitudes, and then they'd be like, oh, it was just a CGI. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those new filters.
I'm from Louisiana, and I don't listen to young boy. I'm more of the '90s rap.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I might not need to listen to the young boy if he make you do like that. $200 million. I'm really throw that out the window. I might not need to listen to him, bro.
That hit different, man. Yeah.
It's like he just got to realize it's like the tree and the grass, right?
Right.
The tree and the grass, they come from the same place. They come from the same soil, but they don't grow together forever. You got to realize that, man. And he realized that, then it's when, sometimes, like Nick just say, everybody can't go.
Everybody can't go, man.
Everybody can't go, man. Sometimes you got to just weed them out, and then, maybe you'll get back with them later on in life. But as of right now, you have to sacrifice that friendship that you have. They real friends, they'll know what you have to do.
Yeah,
you got to better yourself, man. That's generational wealth. You know
yes,
what I mean?
Indeed. So
but I ain't got nothing. That's all I had, my guy.
I feel you, Jackson. Appreciate you, man.
I just want to salute you, you know what I'm saying, showing me love, bro.
No doubt, bro. Appreciate you, man. Keep doing your thing, though, fam. Salute.
No doubt.
Yes, indeed. You know what I'm saying? I want the type of friend. Look, I want the type of money. I want the type of money and friends that I don't have to hold it. You know what I'm saying? I can have my boys hold the heat. You know what I'm saying? It should have been his boys in the background. You know what I'm saying? With the heat, hyping me up, pumping me up, or what have you. And if I want to go out to a nice little spot or establishment, I should feel comfortable going in there without my heat. You know, that's all I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? I should feel confident enough to walk in that establishment, regardless of what it is. You know what I'm saying? Whether or not, I ain't gonna say what they doing, that I don't have to carry the heat. You know what I mean? Come on, y'all. All right, I got to get these calls. 469, what's on your mind, man?
Oh, this there is my bad, man. I meant to tell you that the last time I called in, man, I've been trying to do like the what's the thing called, the super chats.
Right.
Somebody, one of the mods was hating. Yeah, they like to throw jokes, but when you joke on them back, they want to block you. I said, hold up, I'm trying to show Law some love. I'm trying to send some of this Oxnard fun, and I can't do it. So I'm sending I'm sending like the chats in, but I can't. It's not popping up when on like the little scroller thing that you got. So I'm assuming that you can't see it, and I can't send the super chat. So that's what I was calling to tell you. They like to joke, but when you joke back on them, they want to block you. Hold on now.
So you said that you blocked right now. You know what I mean?
That's what I think it is, because they, they need to get control of that. You want to joke on, they want to be comedians, but they don't like when you joke on them.
Oh, okay.
Now they want to block you. Come on now.
Hey, mods, man. Come on, man. I know I got a lot of mods, and it's hard for me to keep up with all of them. But y'all let me know if it's too much of a block party. I pretty much got a lot of things in front of me, so I can't gauge all of the conversation. I try to tell them, as long as it's not personal attacks, then let everything rip. You know what I'm saying? But please don't block anybody, Mars. Let me do the blocking. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell them to lean forward. But normally, I trust their judgment on how they handle things. So I'm gonna comb through some of these videos and see who I should re-enter into the room. What was your YouTube name is then, by the way?
It's, for whatever reason, it's not. It don't show up as my name that I have it as. I don't know why it's doing that. It's just a blank thing. So I guess I got to change that. But yeah, so that's what I was calling to tell you, man. I think I'm blocked. I can't send you no super chats, and I'm trying to support you. You know what I'm saying?
They said, man, hey man, stop snitching, man.
I mean, God dog. Like these are the same. These would be the same people that when you call in, they got all these jokes, cracking all these jokes. But when you crack on them, they want to.
They want to block you, man. Well, I feel you, man. All right, so I'm gonna call them through, man, and I'm gonna release some of the people that's been in purgatory, man. That's able to watch but can't donate, can't support, can't hit share button. So we're gonna try to go through that, man. Maybe I pick an off day and go through all of those lists of people, man, that's on the outside looking in. But I appreciate you, fam. But somebody said, what's your YouTube name though? Like your YouTube name or your handle?
I gotta find it. The next time I call in, I should have it all.
As long as you don't say, man, my YouTube name is Philadelphia, I'm like, God dog, I knew it was you.
Hell no. Hell no. Never. I want to throw up by you even saying that.
Nah, dog, I know. But wait a minute. But how you calling me through this number though? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, this is my work phone.
Oh, it's government line. Okay.
Yeah, I was supposed to be working, but I forgot to tell you that. Yeah, that's why I had called in.
Yeah, I appreciate you, fam. Thank you for circling back though.
All right.
Appreciate you, bro. That's a good call from. That's my guy Darius, man. Cause see, when I saw that number, I was like, man, I ain't used to that number though, but I'm gonna still say from the 469.
Goodbye.
And it got your government institution on there too. You know, I got the call ID thing going on over here, so I was like, well, I'm gonna see if those the people that would say, hey, man, law. FBI, open up! Get back to work, man. You know what I'm saying? Get back to work over here, man. I said I thought I'd work this out, But appreciate everybody. Yeah, he called me from the government line. I thought it was gonna be one of my people saying, "Hey, Law, what you doing over here live like 95? Don't you supposed to be at work?" But I appreciate everybody, man. And shout out to my guy Action Powell too, man. He was the guy, for those who don't know, that watch my content, follow my content, and things like that. Let me see if I can fix it over here. Boom. He did this one. He did this one right here.
Check me out, though, Law.
Here you go.
Check me out, though, Law. Check me out. Money is a problem.
Yo.
Money is a problem.
There you go, right
Money
there.
will make you resort to bad tactics like hustling and robbing. Money can make the weak man strong and the strongest man weak. Money will make real Cowboys fans open their eyes about their sleep. Money can turn a sophisticated, intelligent girl into a freak. And if you got big and don't spend big, you consider cheap. Money can turn a thug to preach. And just when it seems like it's getting close, it's out of your reach. Again and again, I feel like I'm at the end, sitting thinking my money problems are over. This when they begin. So broke, I can't grow a nail to scratch my back. But Uncle Sam ain't trying to hear that. It's a realization of the fact that everybody ain't got the dollars to get taxed. But some call a root to all evil, I call a root to all survival. For the love of presidents, everything else becomes irrelevant. Money can help you overcome all thoughts and feelings about stealing or killing. So don't be mistaken. Money is up for you for taking. DC for life, Fade.
You know what? Oh. Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah. You know what? I love that, because the ideology of it is that at the end of the day, when I hear and I see, we know people that call in with the ability to spit their mind on this platform, goes beyond me, right? And I love it. And it's wonderful. Yeah, that boy was rapping. And I love seeing this, ladies and gentlemen, being an influencer of the people and allowing them to share their thoughts, their love, and adulations for the nation live on the network that we're building over here. And well as the Cowboys got a chance to get some good details of information that we're going to have in store for you all down the line. It's going to be great. You see, in the last 2 years, 12-5. Yes, we got a playoff win last year, and we're hungry. I talked to Darius earlier and said, hey, your expectations are a little too low, right? Comparable to what was previously provided to us. It's always Super Bowl or bust. And if these boys get their mind together and their dreams together, then it will absolutely happen. Right? Dreams without goals are just dreams. We know that for sure. They are failures. They are failures when you don't put your dreams together and have a goal with it. So write this down and let this be a moment that you guys understand that the Cowboys need to continue to work on their dreams, work on their hopes, wishes. And how do they do it? Getting it out of the mud, putting one foot in front of the other. Shout out to the twin maker. I see him in the chat. But if you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad, that you don't get tired of it, and it makes you all hold everything tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you'll gladly go out there and sweat for it and fret for it and plan and lose all terror of your mind, if you would simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength and scarcity, with faith, hope, and confidence and stern pertinacity, if neither cold, poverty, or famish, or fame, or sickness of your body or brain can turn you away from the thing you want, if dogged and grim and besieged and beset with the help of Almighty, you will get it. And in order to you or for you to solidify your dream, you must first establish discipline. And more importantly, consistency. Because without discipline, you will never start. And without consistency, you would never finish. That, my friend, is how you can elevate yourself from here to here. Discipline and consistency. Discipline and consistency. Yes, indeed, Cowboy Nation. And that's what we've been seeing. And for those who will knock a player from working out, whether it be on the concrete, I saw Trevon Diggs working out, establishing the presence of becoming a better player. Seen Deuce Vaughn working out with Michael Parsons. Parsons, even though he left that game, found a local gym and worked out even more. You got to be committed to your commitment, and you got to be consistent. So many people hung up on the jersey that he was wearing. Oh, he got a Philly jersey on. Oh, he got a Celtics jersey on. But one jersey that I know for sure, that when you guys see him in that silver and blue with that number 11 on his chest, you're going to end up looking around and saying that that brother right there is the best. Boy, I sound like one fish, two fish. Can somebody tell me if you mess around with law, you will end up toothless, huh? That Dr. Seuss over here, baby. Don't mess with it. Come on. Cowboy Nation, I really appreciate you so much. Thank each and every last one of you all. Let's continue to grind to shine. Come on.
Damn. Damn.
Let's go.
Whoa.
Give me my thing, you.
Give it to me, baby. Come on. Y'all can tell I'm having fun over here, huh? Roll those credits. Come on.
I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Make today yours. That is right, Steven. Shout out to Sadiq. Patrice. So over it. Let's go. Ernest. Appreciate you. Brenda. Fred. Anderson. Chris 214. Can't say 4. 4. Gotta say 4.
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Hey.
Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change to the safe.
Y'all see that helmet? Come on. You see the greatest running back of all time? Y'all see him over there. Come on. Take the 5. Look at that. Hey. Come on. Put it back on me. Watch out. Watch out. Hype this up right quick.
the same, not switching sides. Now it's about
Watch how I hype this up right quick. There's no running back with more yards and touchdowns than Emmett. Come on. Now, there's no other organization. Look how I'm looking at y'all. I can say that, and that's facts, and that's not opinion. There's no running back with more yards. Period. Show me a running back with more yards. Oh, Law, you're a homer. Well, show me a running back with more. In history. Come on. Roll those credits again. Come on.
I just be off the dome.
Hey.
I never own no chrome.
Come on.
Too many foes and clones. Yeah, I be at home alone. I be in zones alone.
I'll be a roll alone. You see, other teams, and no offense to you, Twin Maker, but other teams like to use opinions. We using facts over here. Yes, indeed. You want to see that 3rd and 30? I got you. 5, 4, 3, 2. Ha! Come on. Hey. All right. He gonna say Jerry Rice the GOAT. Well, we got goats too, man. There's many goats. There's a lot of goats over here, man. Yards. Yes, indeed, Cowboy Nation. Let me get on up out of here, man. One love. I saw Uncle Charles. He jumped right on in for a call and a conversation. I thought I was going to be able to get him on the line, but he ended up hanging up. But shout out to Uncle Charles. Come on. Hey. Hey. Yep. Yeah, come on, Twin. Zeke is not retired. Zeke gonna come back and play for the Cowboys for it's said and done. Watch. Come on. Number 15, Zeke coming. Don't let the street lights hit you. You guys know what I'm saying when I say that, right? You know, I'm going to go over here and we're going to land our plane, man. We're going to land our plane, though. I follow. Watch that plane come down. Look at that plane, boy. We're going to land the plane, baby. And another one. And another one. Fighting you was a wanderlust. 7 wonders all in one. All in one. Don't let the street lights hit you. All alone. You know it's dangerous to go alone. Don't let the street Thank you, and thank you. And remember, you're listening. Go ahead and rattle. You're listening to nothing but the best. So fun, so fun. If a baby grain can fly, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on. We up out, man.
have to be your biggest fan. And when things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working, but there's something inside of you that says, I just have to follow that. Because you don't know who you're going to meet, who you're going to meet, who you're going to meet.